tuanze. Unajua sio network kienyeji sana. Unakimbilia tu msee yeye ni mpopular na anambia buda hii ni ngoma yangu. Suicheze noma. It doesn't work like that. And then we're gonna look at skills over degrees. Najua msee akiona unadhani nimeka mkua show mwache kuchop. Mwache kutafuta ma degree mwende mtafute skills, but that's not what I mean. So I will transition very quickly to the meat of the conversation. Quickly, ukiangalia tu kwa screen, just scan your eyes so that you can clearly tell what a conventional career and an unconventional career is. So essentially, mse kama untakuwa doki, right? So utaenda chuo, upate degree, upate job or retire, si ndio? It's pretty straightforward, right? Ukitakuwa rapper na pia unataka kwenda chuo, your path iko, the path of a rapper you can never know how it goes, right? It can go really great, it can go really bad. The sound of rap ina change every other day, si ndio? Leo drill inashika, kesho hard hitting beats zinashika, so things keep changing, right? When you're in the conventional career path, you specialize in one skill, but one thing utakuja kuona about the unconventional career path is you take all or a couple of your skills and passions and you bring them together for you to make a living. Of course, finally, manze, conventional career uko sure salary ina come at the end of the month, right? When it comes to the unconventional career, your income comes at different points and from different sources. And we're going to just show you how you can create income from multiple streams while in the unconventional career. Now, the biggest challenge, if you are to be honest, on this journey of, I want to be a YouTuber and at the same time, I want to do, agriculture. I want to be a dancer at the same time, I want to be a lawyer at the same time, I want to be, a digital content creator, is that you have to grow without a clear path, right? And self-direction is key. And by self-direction, namaanisha, no one is going to come and tell you, this is what you need to do at this time of the day. Hakuna mtu atakuja kuamsha. You have to take the initiative to upscale yourself. And the one thing that I can confidently say about self-direction in the unconventional career path is the power of vision. Vision gives direction. Kuna mse anajua vision yake ya life hapa? Niko na airtime napeana kabla nikuje kwa misheveve. Kuna mse anajua vision yake ya life? Niambie vision yako ya life.
Okay, my vision is to become a great teacher because I'm doing education. I love pia great fashion and design.
You want to be?
A great teacher who will be like a role model. I love pia the great fashion designer.
So you want to be a role model, a teacher, right? And an acclaimed fashion designer, not just umejitengenezea hii look umepiga sai. Kujue ni designer. Si usimame tuchekio look. Pengine hata mimi nahitaji look. Hebu cheki fashion designer. Piga tie pale na cheki age, buda. Hey, killing it. You're on the right path. What's your vision, man?
My vision is to create that makes sense. Yani ukisikiza unaweza sikiza there's a story behind this.
Yes.
Si kama zile za Abanton yenye, this is just dancing. Yeah. They create the dance moves and that's what they're playing. But
yeah, I
want to make if you listen, I'm passing a story. You be the voice of the people.
Yeah.
Seme kama the maandamano thing, you create something that talks to the government to stop this. You create a story. Yeah?
Right.
Yes.
So you want to be a great storyteller. Yes. So you see, that's the difference when it comes to the unconventional career path. For someone who has a clear vision, right, in the unconventional career path for what they want to be. So you have said you want to do meaningful music. How that gives you direction because your vision is clear, you will know who to partner with. Unajua ni msanii mgani, okay, I wanna do impact music. I already know the artist to work with. So in some sense, it is directionless until you find your vision, right? And venye tulianza, the unconventional career path is heavily tied to digital, by the way, right? You have to put yourself out there. But it's not about just putting yourself out there. It's putting yourself out there in the best way possible. Niko na Misheveve hapa. Misheveve ni mnoma sana na mambo ya digital. At this particular point nataka kuinvite Misheveve so that she can help you. Guy, Mish. Nimekuita Misheveve sana, kidogo nianze kuitisha mboga ya ukweli hapa. So, Mish, you're in the digital space. There's young people seated here, right, who want to know, how do I go about my digital presence in this unconventional career path? How do I put myself out there in a way that I stand out? Welcome.
Thank you. Tupige Fabs makosi. Jamani. Did Fabs mention that he's a DJ? Did he mention? Allah? 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 Did Fabs mention he's a DJ? DJ.
Mr. Fabs.
DJ, Mr. Fabs.
So basically, I've been a DJ for the last 10 years. I was going to tell my story uko mwisho, but I've been a DJ for the last 10 years. But I was a DJ who really loved media. The first place I was at was Homeboys Radio, and now currently at Trace. So yeah, I'll tell you more about my story later. For now, let us listen to Misheveve as she breaks down the digital space for you.
So first things first, msiende kunitafuta as Misheveve Twitter na nini. Hiyo si jina yangu. My name is Mishboss Lady on Twitter and TikTok. But if you want to find me on LinkedIn, my name is Miriam Karanja. So I'm going to take you guys through personal branding in the digital space. I want you guys to just have a look at what I have to talk about, and then we can have a conversation. I normally have just one Kataini rule for my classes. Hakuna kunyamaza. Sawa? Because most of these things you know. So you're just here to engage. Mniulize maswali, niulize maswali, and let's have a good time. Sawa sawa? So how many of you are a brand? If you consider yourself a brand, you consider, that's dope. Why do you consider yourself a brand?
I consider myself a brand because in this rapping, I don't do it myself. Najua, I have some rappers who are my friends. So sometimes they release their musics and I look at them and then I post them in all my social media platforms. Then we promote each other and we tell ourselves we are a group. So we are going together and we listen to your music when where you're not correct, to tell you, hapa na umeblanda. So we are like a group, so that's a brand.
First of all, I'm an artist. Yeah, so I created my brand because I saw that there's a gap in the music industry that people don't take seriously. Yeah, it requires my talent and requires my attention. So I had to put in the job, but it's gonna take me time, but I know I'm gonna get there because najiamini, I believe in myself. I'm a king, nigga.
Hey. First of all, there's something that he said that is so dope. He looked at the music industry in Kenya and he recognized that there's a gap that requires his talent. If you don't take away anything today, there's a gap in whatever field that you're in that requires your what? That requires your? Great. So what is personal branding? This is the intentional presentation of who you are and what you stand for online. And it is how you showcase your skills, your values, your personality to align with your goals. So when it comes to that bit up, how many of you guys know Boniface Mwangi? Boniface Mwangi? Boniface Mwangi? The activist, correct. If you look at Boniface Mwangi and the work that he's done from way back when to now, it's an actual representation of who he is and what he stands for. Yeah? Does that make sense to you guys? It is a representation of who he is and what he stands for. Boniface Mwangi is a known photographer. He's an activist. He's been fighting the government to do what is right and to stand for what is right. And anytime you see him, anytime you hear about him, he's fighting for something right. Personal branding is also how you showcase your skills, your values, and your personality to align with your goals. I'd give a perfect example of DJ Mr. Fabs. I'm sure if we go to your Instagram, hawezi kosa picha moja umevaa nini? The headphone thing is.
Yeah, of course. I do a lot of things, but
Yes.
specifically for Instagram, ukienda kwa the top scroll, you'll immediately know I'm a DJ.
Does that work? Does that make sense to you guys? So why does personal branding matters? First impressions, 93% of employers check your social media before hiring. Did you guys know that? Ama mnapostingi tu. Wait, you didn't know? Did you know that? You didn't know? I'm telling you right now, the digital space has changed so much. It is a requirement that the way you present yourself online has to align with the type of job that you're trying. What course are you doing? What course are you doing? You said what? Bachelor of Arts Music. Are you trying to teach or do you want to be a musician? You want to teach music. Do you ever consider how you present yourself online and how it will virtually affect you trying to look for work? And that's why I'm here. And that's why I'm here. Why personal branding matters, again, it is because a strong brand opens doors to jobs, partnerships, and influence. When you guys think of the topmost influencer who comes to your mind, who comes to your mind? If you think influencers, who's the first person that comes to your mind?
Any.
Yeah, any. The first influencer who comes to your mind.
Dr. Linda Mudhoni.
Dr. Linda Mudhoni. Who else? Influencers.
Aziad.
Aziad. Why Aziad? Why have you said it with a smirk like that?
Jua kona deni. Ndio.
Any other influencer? Yes, Fabs.
Maverick Yako.
Maverick Oko. That's a very interesting answer. I like that answer a lot. You said who? Rico Mondi. Caliph Cairo. Yeah. Is Caliph Cairo an influencer? Okay. Another reason why... Say again? Okay, thanks. Another reason why personal branding matters in the digital space is because of monetization. Brands collaborate with individuals who have a positive, impactful presence. I want you guys to think about these three things at all times when you're putting yourself out there, when you're putting your content out there. Kama wewe ni msanii, you're doing music, think about why you're doing the music. Sawa. It might be fun and games to do the type of music like Akina who does, the guys who are coming today, Akina furthermore. But you also need to ask yourself, does that speak to who you are? Is that your brand? And what message are you trying to put out there? Correct? Is that okay? Any questions so far? Let's move on. I want to talk to you guys about the pillars of digital personal branding. We're going to start with the first one. It is identifying and positioning. Define who you are, what you stand for, and how you want to be perceived. What's your name? The gentleman in blue. Say again. Okay.
My name is Malik.
Your name is Malik.
Yeah.
Malik, when people look at you, how do you want to be perceived? In 3 words.
Yes? Pardon?
In 3 words, how do you want people to perceive you?
As a role model.
As a role model.
Yeah.
That's it.
You've said in 3 words.
Oh, as a role model. Okay, so all right, that works. Number 2, your content and visibility. Share valuable, relevant content that reflects your expertise. The only reason why I'm standing in front of you guys today is because I'm the digital lead at Trace. But over and above that, I'm an influencer. I've done master classes before. I have positioned myself as a force within this industry. Simpige makofi. Thank you so much. So whenever you're doing content, whenever you're putting yourself out there, just do something that is valuable. Teach, entertain, inform, educate. Sorry. Entertain, engage, inform, and educate is teach. Inform, Nani?
Hebu nimewamark. Wapi hiyo mse wangu wa airtime? I've got you guys. I've got you.
Please.
I've got you.
So you inspire, you entertain, you educate, and you inform. Engagement and networking. Amepewa airtime. Fabs.
Zinakam. Hii story ya Kasongo Buda. Zinakum. Iko pale cheki. Iko pale kwa ukiingia kwa gate, utembe mpaka ndani, ufike kwa partner's tent, uende mpaka all the okay, inakam.
Engagement and networking. Connect with your industry leaders and communities to build credibility. Sorry. I have a question. How many on here want to be content creators or are content creators? Hamtaki ku create content. Ati? You said what? Abumpatie, nataka kusikia jibu. Usikue shy.
No, I'm not shy.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking about what to say. So, I think content creation, yeah, it requires a lot. So, like, no, as a content creation, like your mind has to be there. But then some of us, sisi tuko focused on something music industry. But my content creator wako. Kama boys wangu ni content creator.
Can I respond to that? Everything you do in life requires a lot. Everything you do in life requires a lot. And I'm telling you right now, in as far as where the world is going, you need to be some form of creator. Even if you're doing music, so you need to present yourself on socials. You need to be on YouTube, you need to be on LinkedIn, you need to be on TikTok, you need to be on Instagram. How are you guys going to know about you if you don't put yourself out there? I think when us guys think about content creators, mnaanzanga kufikiria Atumesema?
Please. I get you. I get what you're saying, right? And I was gonna get to this later, but I'd rather say it now, right? I understand the kind of creative that you are, where you want to focus on the work, right? For the work to open the opportunities for you. But the work is what you need, right? But without that aspect of other people knowing about what you are doing, sometimes it doesn't matter how hard you work on what you're creating. You might take very, very long before you're able to see fruits. So najua unafikiria content creation ni kuchukua kama nje na masaik kwanza, ukuje hapo udance upige move manini z. You have just to find the kind of content that works for you. Sawa. I think the fact that you think it's overwhelming ni juu unajaribu kuifanya venye wase wengine wanaifanya, right? Fanya content in align na who you are. Melewa? Cool.
Nice. Sijui hata ukwe digital usimame hapa penye niko Fabs. No. It's okay. The next thing we're going to look at is consistency and authenticity. What is spoken to right now, you have to stay true to who you are. And you can't look at what everybody else is doing. The first statement you said is that content creation ni kazi, and there's a lot of competition. You're your own competition. So, you are your own competition. You have to do this thing because you want to do it for yourself. And over and above that, you have to be authentic to yourself. What are you trying to tell the people? What is your message? How are you trying to position yourself? What is your brand? Who are you? And once you answer that question, you're able to do all these things without thinking about the rest of the people. Sawa. So lastly, we are going to talk about, there's someone who brought up Caliph Cairo as allegedly as an influencer. I don't want to be sued. Msini quote anywhere. This point about reputation management, you have to curate your digital footprint to align with your goals. What makes you feel like Caliph Cairo is a good influencer? Oh, it's you who said it. Oh, I thought it's you. Sema tu.
Maybe if I can chime in at this particular point,
Yeah,
Michelle.
sure.
So think about it. I love. Let's. Okay, if you quote me online, it's fine. So let's say the person who said Caliph Cairo, right? Caliph Cairo ni mnoma in terms of the technical aspects ya influence, ndio? Anajua kushika hiyo kamenje fiti, si ndio? Anajua kudeliver hiyo information vizuri, si ndio? Unaweza watch your video from the start to the end na ubambike, si ndio? But kumbuka, mimi ni msenauza mandai, si ndio? Buda, unajua how hard it is to buy a car for most young people, si rahisi, si ndio? So kama unataka kubuy ndai kwa mse, unaweza trust, si ndio? Kumbuka wewe umeiva kumove your camera, umeiva kuongea juu ya magari, but siwezi kutrust na do yako juu ya reputation umebuild imekuja online ati weni scammer. Unaelewa? You can be good at all these things, kumove your camera, kuongea, but money is involved and millions of shillings. So if your reputation is that you scam people, you can't mask behind good content creation on a reputation of being a scam. I don't know if that makes sense.
That makes sense. So then my question to you would be, people who are still going back to him to buy cars, what would you peg that to?
Ujipendi, boss. Ujipendi.
Yes. Kuna swali? Oh, okay. Yes. Si kila mtu alimscam. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Exactly. Okay.
That's
Just
good.
to answer, that's why I'm on your reputation
Management.
Yes, you've served 1,000 clients and let down 5 clients. Ndio. How you approach, how you let down the 5 clients pegs on reputation management. Wezi let down 5 clients na ukuje na kiburi mbele ya wase. Right? You have to know your strategy to address this issue from a communication and PR perspective. Umenielewa? It's not about the good work that you've done before. When something bad happens, how do you go around that? Umelewa. So for him, his approach post messing people up in terms of reputation management was wanting. Umelewa sasa? Umeget? Cool. Mish.
Is that fair? Is that a fair assessment? What are you? Yeah, sure. I think there's another question.
And then we'll save most of the questions for the end.
No problem.
After this.
No worries.
But nisema Caliph Cairo juu some of us want to be scammers, Kenyan prince. Takuwa kama
You know what? That's fair.
Sawa, we.
I'm not even mad at that.
I wouldn't encourage kama content.
You want to do
Unatakuwa-
scamming as a
Ebu to explain venye scamming as content works.
like kama
It's like it's a secret, so tukilika tutakuosha sasa. Tukikuambia njia tutakuosha.
Nyiwe sio mko serious ama ni jokes? Okay.
So I think wase wa Yesu kumejua kuna wase wa masterclass ya scamming. Avoid them. Mish.
Okay. So now we've touched all those things. I want us to build it brick by brick. How many of you are on TikTok? How many of you are on Instagram? How many of you are on Facebook? Hey, Gen Z. You're on Facebook? That's interesting. How many of you are on LinkedIn? How many of you are on Twitter, also known as X? Yeah, that's dope. All right, so I want to show you guys how to build your digital brand brick by brick. The first step is obviously going to be defining your brand identity. Define who you are. What are your skills, expertise, or talents? What industry or niche do you specialize in? What are your passions and values? You can use one bit of those things to, I'll share with you this thing after we are done. It's okay, I'll share it with you guys. And you can also use all of them to create your brand identity. Sawa sawa? You also need to optimize your digital footprint. Google yourself. Seriously, Google yourself right now.
Scammers. Hebu
Scammers.
mjigoogle
Google
hapo
yourself.
tuone inasema
I
nini.
want you to tell me what's the first thing that comes up when you Google yourself.
You write your name on Google.
Yeah, what's the first thing?
Um,
Inakuja mdundo.
What's your stage name? Jaffa inaandikwaje? Pende your confidence, manzi. King Jaffa.
You guys look nice. You're welcome.
So nime Google King Jaffa. The first thing nimepata King Jaffa mental health advocate. We'll see wewe for sure. But soon after, King Jaffa online songs and bio of the artist, and then I can see your X account, I can see your Boomplay account, na kucheki hapo mdundo. Yeah, so na cheki YouTube yako next. So yeah, that's what you do. That's what you get when you Google King Jaffa.
Me, I like that. That's dope. You have optimized your digital footprint. But then now the question becomes, if I go to your X account, what am I going to find there? What am I going to find there? When you Google yourself, what do you find?
Instagram.
It brings your Instagram.
Yes.
Okay. And TikTok. What do you find when you Google? What have you found? Okay. Are you in X right now? All right, once you Google yourself, the next thing you need to do is you need to clean up your digital presence. This means you delete or update old content that no longer aligns with your brand. If you want to be a mental health advocate, hawezi kuwa na tweets pale zenye unaambia watu mambo haifai. If you want to be a teacher, you can't, if I go Google you or if I check out your Twitter, I don't want tweets that come up that are unsavory or would not make me want to hire you as a teacher or have you near my kids. Does that make sense? If you want to be a fashion designer and you want to work with, give me a brand. You said what? What?
Outlook.
Yeah. I can't Google your name and find tweets about you talking bad about Outlook. All right? You need to curate your space. You need to optimize your digital presence. You need to, as an employer, if I Google you, if I check your TikTok, if I check your Twitter, if I check your Instagram, it has to align. And you guys also need to realize that every company has its values. And your values, the person that I want to employ, has to align with our values as a company. All right? The next thing you need to do is you need to claim your name. Mi naitwa Miriam Karanja. If you Google me, that's what you'll find. Or if you don't find Miriam Karanja, you'll find Mish Boss Lady. Msiangalie Misheveve. That's not me. Claim your name and have your name run throughout all your socials. Sawa sawa. If it's on TikTok, you're called Luke James. Let that be on Instagram. Let that be on YouTube. So that when people look for you, they can find you. Zile enzi za kujiita msupa ule msexy on Facebook ziliisha. Sawa. Ziliisha. Jaffa ule mzi ziliisha. Use your name so that your employers can find you, brands can find you, industries can find you. After that, you need to choose your platforms. Kama we ni msanii, where do you need to be? Quickly. Kama we ni msanii, what platform do you need to be? The baby in white looks like she knows the answer. Kama we ni msanii, where do you need to be? TikTok, where else? Instagram, where else? Correct. If you want to teach, where do you need to be? You need to be on, yeah, that's a valid answer. Where else do you need to be? Facebook, LinkedIn. If you want to get formal employment, where do you need to be? You need to be on LinkedIn. Sawa sawa. Niliwaambia hizi vitu mnajua. You have a question? Okay. All right. Sawa sawa. We've talked about crafting and sharing valuable content, and it appears again here. Whatever you do, especially when you're getting ready for the outside world, that is employment, whether it is in the conventional way or the unconventional way, people need to know why they should hire you. I need to know. If you're saying you're an artist, and I'm going to YouTube and I can't find any of your music, why then should I bring you to DJ Mr. Fabs? If you're saying you want to teach music, and I'm going to your LinkedIn, and I'm not seeing a single project, why should I hire you? And it doesn't have to be much. You don't need a camera and a mic and a social media manager. It's stuff you can do on your own. It can be a thought piece, it can be a tweet, it can be you commenting about something an industry leader said that shows your expertise. It can be you correcting somebody, but you need to get your voice out there. So comment, share, like, engage with people in your field, and share content within that industry. You need to build an engaged network. That means you need to talk to people. People need to know about you. Usikue tu kazi yako ni kupost na kwenda. Umepost Instagram, wasa wamecomment. Kama we ni the fashion guru over here, somebody has asked you, where did you get your sweater from? Where did you get your shoes from? You're not saying anything. And you don't have to tell people where you get your whole style, but you can give them an idea that makes them think, you know what? The next time I want something done, I'll come to you. Build a network. Talk to people. Talk back to people. Comment, like, engage. Let people know that they can come to you for something within your industry. Sawa? You need to be consistent and authentic. Wale watu wanapostingi Instagram once, alafu unarudi after 3 months. And that maybe is your core platform. It does not work like that. If you're going to be on LinkedIn, you want to be a teacher. You want guys to know when you're done with your course, you're teaching. Ulipost last semester, 3 more to go. Nobody even knows what you're talking about. Unaongelelea sem zimeisha. Nobody knows. Or you've landed, what are they called? Zile vitu tulikuwa tunaenda kitambo zinaitwaje? Ile unaenda kufanya kazi mahali alafu unarudi shule after you're done. Let me tell you, I am old, okay? I don't remember. Atinaka? Iyo. Umeland internship, umeambiwa say the way the internship went, and then you've gone quiet for a year. How shall you know what you're up to? You need to be consistent. You need to be authentic. You need to put the word out there. Lastly, you need to measure and improve. My belief is usually one. You can't measure what you don't track. You can't measure what you don't track. That's why we get grades. That's why we are doing step up. Mnafanya the step up challenge. Ile ya kutembea alafu mnasema how many steps in you are. Sawa. You can't track you can't measure what you don't track. You need to know how you're doing. So ukijiambia LinkedIn is my platform. I'll be posting 3 times a week. I'll be going back every month and seeing how my post did. That is something that is important when it comes to building your digital brand.
All right, thank you so much, Misheveve. Makofi ya Misheveve, man. You can hold your questions for the end. So just to quickly circle back to why we are here today, we are talking about the unconventional career path. And the reason why we are talking about this, and Mish has really highlighted how powerful digital is for you if you're on this unconventional career path, is that more and more, by the way, on a daily basis unaingianga online unasikia mayouth unasema kuna jobs, ndio? The jobs are shrinking, and at the same time there's a rise in the gig economy. Msiote najua gig economy ni nini? Gig economy, anyone? Kuna mse anajua gig economy hapa? My dear learned friends. So essentially gig economy means you can go onto platforms, get a job, and then you finish the job, get paid, you're done. It's short format jobs that you're paid and you move on. You're not permanently employed, but they can be equally as rewarding. And more than ever, this is the time for you to know how to navigate these pesiama jobs, because utatoka uni na uambiwe jo hakuna mawera. And then what do you do from that point? That's why we are talking about the unconventional career path in terms of navigating multiple skills and passion. Now, the unconventional career, let me speak for myself as Mr. Fabs, ndio. Nilishia uni as well. Nilifanya undergrad na postgrad. I studied tech for undergrad, and then I did a master's, and then I was specializing in AI. But at the same time, I'm a DJ on the side, right? I'm able to balance these skills. At the same time, I'm a creative, and at the same time, I'm an entrepreneur. When you're walking the unconventional path, you'll find that you are merging several talents together, right? But like, it can be confusing. And the key to managing these talents is time. How do you manage your time? How do you prioritize what to do now and then what to do next? As you can see, I've abbreviated time into track, identify, manage, execute. So track is every time you wake up in the morning, right? You need to write down all the tasks that you have to do for the day, for the week, for the month, right? Then identify simply means you have to prioritize, right? What's most urgent, what's most important, what's most impactful for this moment. Once you identify the priorities, that the priority order of what you need to do, then you need to manage. Now this is where now you start to block off time. You say, okay, between 9 and 10 a.m. I'm focusing on project X that is related to DJing. Then, because it's urgent, I need to finish that. Oh, but I work for Trace. I have this client that I need to deliver this to. I will do that between 11 and this time. So you have to manage your time very, very well and block off time within your day based on your priorities for the day, for the week, for the month. And then finally, execute. Execute with focus. When you're on the unconventional career path, when you block off time to do something, you need to be absolutely focused. Like for me, I do things in 1 hour bits. And in that 1 hour, hata unipigie simu waje huwezi nipata. Because that time I've put off my electronics and all my focus is on that one thing. So if there's anything that you need to take away from navigating the unconventional career path where you have so many talents, so many passions, so many skills, is how you manage your time. Now, basically when you live here and you're on that path, you're a designer, at the same time you wanna be a role model, you wanna be a teacher, go read a bit about the portfolio career model, right? So look, the kind of person that walks this unconventional path is not your regular day-to-day person. Like for me, I like to be autonomous. I like to choose when I want to do what, right? And also, I want a work-life balance. Manze siwezi kuwa tunadunga nakuja na I work my entire life and then I die. You know, there are so many things in life that are there to be enjoyed. So this kind of career path allows you to enjoy life, but at the same time generating revenue. What you can check out the portfolio career model. Now, for instance, like for me, you'll have Mr. Fabs over here, and then you'll have head of radio as Trace, and the income stream that comes with that. Sindio? You still have me here as a DJ, and then there's income that comes with that. I mean, as and then Mr. Fabs as a consultant comes with that. Mr. Fabs giving a master class. Hiyo pia ni munde. So essentially, your financial structure in the unconventional career path will look something like this. So I'm just rushing through so that I don't keep you here for long. So just in summary, if you are on the unconventional career path, there are certain skills that you must master. And on the screen, please just read through the screen. You can see a couple of skills that you definitely need. But I want to focus on a few based on my own learnings of this journey. And the first one is networking. And effective networking is extremely important. Wase wengi wanadhani networking ni kwenda kujua wase wengi kujaza ma contacts kwa phone book yani. no, najua wasee wengi. Mse anaweza nisaidia. No. Networking is about building meaningful relationships, not many relationships, right? When you go into a room like this, you really don't need to talk to everyone. You really need to save that time for the 1 or 2 people, right? That talking to them will actually have a positive influence on what you're trying to do. And one of the worst mistakes that we as young people make when we are networking is that unaenda kwa msee and then you ask before you give. Anytime you're networking, approach with, hey, this is what I have to offer you, for instance. Kama kuna msanii fulani kitambo alidupoa sana. He came to me and he was like, mostly artists will come wakasema, niko na hii ngoma, si unicheze kwa radio ama kwa TV. That's what they say. The first interaction. This artist came to me and said, I'm an upcoming artist and I've realized your station plays a lot of upcoming artists. I have a list of many upcoming artists, by the way, and it can help you create that show that you do for upcoming artists easier, right? So he has made my life easier, first of all. I don't really need to go and start looking for names of upcoming artists. And then he has offered me value, my G's. I was like, thank you, sir. I will do whatever you want. So for whatever you're doing, whether you're in fashion or when you're going to meet people, when you know the kind of event that you're going to, figure out what's my value. And value is not always money, right? So just figure out, what can I offer this person? Okay, cool. And then what can I have in return? And then how can I sustain that relationship for a long time? The other key skill that you need to have is around entrepreneurship. And I wish I learned this early. Look, the life of the unconventional person, at some point you will need to do business, right? And you really need to know how to set up a business. Kuna mse anajua business model canvas hapa? Does anyone know what a business model canvas is? Please, just note that down. Go check it out. Even for the artists, in your career, the business model canvas can be a very, very essential tool to try and make whatever venture you're doing a profitable venture, right? The other thing around entrepreneurship is leadership. When you're on the path of the unconventional career, you're a leader for yourself. You must learn how to lead. The last thing there's creativity, transferable skills, which is already important. For me, that has really worked. How can I use one skill from something I love to grow the other? For instance, for me, my background from tech and AI really helps me in how I curate music, because I have a bit of knowledge about how these machine learning algorithms are built. So I know how to prompt AI easily. So it helps me when I'm scheduling music and doing that. I'm able to use that skill to better another area of my life. So when you have a set of skills, try and find out how you can use one skill in one area to enhance another area. Finally, lifelong learning. One of my mentors in the path I'm on, rather when I was working at Homeboys Radio, was G-Money. So my story with G-Money is simple. On Fridays, at Homeboys Radio in the morning, for a very long time, every Friday morning they had a different DJ. So the slot was for guest DJs. And then after that, I went once, played, guy looked at me, na yo accent ya British. Nani anajua Jimani hapo? Shanipiga hapo moja, akaniambia ni come the next Friday. Kumbuka kila Friday nafaa na different DJ. So I come, I do something fresh, akaniambia okay, do hivi, so ukam yo Friday ingine. And then it became just because at that particular time the way I was doing my DJing was teaching something. And one thing I learned from Jimani is, in my entire time I was around him, he always had young people around him. So he used to have like young, talented people around him. And then once you grow, let me grow other young people. So one thing that as you guys grow older in your unconventional career path, never look down on people who are younger than you. They always have, insights that you might not know about because you're getting older. So always be teachable. Stay teachable. Never think that you know too much, right? Never dismiss knowledge from someone because maybe they are younger than you or they're in a different area of life. So yes, the unconventional career path needs a lot of openness to learning. As we come to an end, Misheveve, I'll share, before I just explain what is on the screen, I'll just share some of my biggest. I had to note them down so that I don't forget. Right. This guy is a great guy. Why? Because he's confident, right? Does anyone question his confidence in this room based on your interaction with him? No? No. Confidence is key in the journey of the unconventional career path. Now, I have a question. Ataka hakuna airtime, I'll see what I'll do for this question. Zimefika? All right, cool. So, mko kampo saini wote, si ndio? Mko kampo, right? How do you build confidence? How do you build confidence? Just give me one thing about how you build confidence. There are many answers. I want to hear all of them. Just one thing about confidence that you know.
Trying to speak up to people in events.
So that builds confidence.
When you do it severally, you get exposed to more.
So how do you, assuming you're not confident, right? How do you speak in front of the people for the first time ever?
You might look at one person or at the forehead or on top of the head of people.
Okay. Patia you has given me an answer. Then I move.
Through interactions. Yes.
Build confidence. He says interactions build confidence.
Okay.
Building confidence. What I can say.
So think about yourself, right? You're in Campo right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people are confident because they have the latest car, the coolest trip. But you're a student, right? How do you build confidence?
First of all, I need to believe in myself. Yeah, I need to know what I'm capable of doing, even though I'm not yet there. Yeah. That's where I'm heading to. Yeah. So that builds my confidence. It tells me even if you are there, I'm going to reach there and even. Yeah.
Okay, I think to a person that. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, I think to a person that has no confidence, in the first you can practice it in your house. You try looking at your mirror as you say some things. Hivyo. Then unaanza kuongea kwa marafiki kama wawili hivi. Hivyo you build your confidence in that you can even stand in front of people and say something.
According to me, to build my confidence ni kujikubali na kujipenda. Yeah.
That's a nice answer.
I love it. At the back.
My take is finding meaning and appreciating my own presence and being. That elevates my level of confidence in so many ways that it's so great.
So that's confidence through purpose. You have a purpose, and that your purpose gives you the confidence. Awesome, I love it.
I think the best way to build your confidence is by putting yourself in those spaces and actually doing it scared.
So the fact that you're scared should not stop you from doing something. It's okay to feel scared and still do it, right? Awesome.
I have one.
Yes, Michelle.
Please stop.
Okay, sawa Mish.
I think you build a lot of confidence from mastering your craft.
Right.
Yes. You have to be good at what you do.
Yeah.
That thing gives you so much confidence.
You
don't even believe. Yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
One last one here and then. Yeah? Is that okay?
Mr. Rapper, you utatusamea, tutapatia, wewe utasummarize, the confidence master. Tell us.
I think the way you can build your confidence, it's by moving from your comfort zone. Yeah, I mean, you like moving from your comfort zone, it means like you go to places or maybe interact with people who you would normally do, but you go to an extra mile by interacting with them.
Great, I love that. Makofi manze, by the way. We need to be clapping for these guys. So, just to summarize, I love the points and I've learned one or two other ways to boost my confidence. But think about it also. Mish, for me, as Fabs,
Yes.
the first thing that you said, for me, I compress confidence in three things. One, what you know. So, if you're very skillful,
Yes.
you're gonna be confident, right?
Yeah.
The second thing about confidence for me, right, outside just what you know, is taking care of yourself well. The guy who said about going to the mirror and looking at yourself, well, it was you? Look, the moment you're able to take care of yourself well, right, eat well, work out well, when you go to the mirror, you're going to like what you see, right? If you go to that mirror and you don't like what you see, the thing that you can do about it is to take better care of yourself. And for me, since I'm not an atheist, I get a lot of confidence from God, right?
Amen.
So anytime I want to do something and it's challenging and I say, hey man, God, I've done my part, you do yours, I get a lot of confidence. So confidence is three things. What you know, right? Keep upskilling, keep growing your knowledge. 2, take good care of yourself, your mind, your body. And 3, God. Kama you're Muslim, Allah. If you're an atheist, sijui, kijiko, ama nini, whatever. Whatever works for you, okay? So thank you so much. It's been Mish and Fabs from Trace talking about the unconventional career path.
Yep.
On your screen is 2 QR codes on the left and to the right for Trace Academia. It's our free platform for young people where you can learn everything.
Plumbing.
Yeah?
Plumbing, digital
Yeah,
marketing. You can
everything.
be an electrician. Every single... Oh, Mr. Confidence wants to speak to you.
Mr. Confidence is atafunga. He's the guest of honor. So whatever we have spoken about today, the upskilling, just download the Trace Plus app today. It's not only academia that's in there. You can get to enjoy Trace TV channels, enjoy all our radios from across the world. I was to play a video. I don't know if the tech team, did you receive our Trace Academia video from Sylvia? No? Okay, cool. We'll figure that out. So thank you so much for coming to our masterclass.
Where can they find you?
Oh, yes. Next slide.
If someone is looking for you.
I wanted guys to download this first.
Okay.
So we can, I think that's dope. Final slide now. We can move to the final slide.
Oh, we can?
Yes. So that's Miriam Karanja. You can find her on LinkedIn, Miriam Karanja. Ex Mish Boss Lady mwenyewe amedunga ka Boss Lady, deadly sana.
Wewe ni mimi.
Yeah, so thank you so much guys. At this particular point, Maswali, if you have any questions about the unconventional career path, we are happy to answer you. Asanteni.
Clap for Fabs. Clap for Fabs. We'll take a max of 3 questions. And then if you have anything else, you can... Atujaenda mahali, tunaenda career, and then after that, tutakuwa 2 area. Does anyone have a question?
All right. Thank you so much. Any questions? Ama mmeuliza zote?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question. Ekonomia sahi, unapata, it's so hard to stick to one thing. Probably you might be talented as a DJ at the time. You might be talented as an artist at the time. But haiwezi jipa at once. So you find yourself doing other things. You'll probably pursue the career you're doing in university. You'll probably find yourself in marketing or sales because you're hustling. So it really gives you a problem in branding yourself because you end up being everywhere because you're trying to be afloat. You see, so that's how do you deal with that? Because you really need to eat, you really need to do a lot of things as a young man. So you can't just stick to I am a performing artist. I am a performing artist, and it doesn't pay you enough, or it doesn't pay your bills. So you end up doing so many other things. So how do you brand yourself in such a scenario?
I think that's an excellent question. So I'll take it and then he can take it. I think Fabs is a perfect embodiment of that. He's a head of music. He's a DJ. he's an influencer, he's a content creator, he's all these things, right? But there's something he mentioned about learning one thing that helps you do other things. So, also, you need to find out what is your core identity. What is your core? At the very, kila kitu ikaisha, ni nini unabaki nayo moja yenye unataka kufanya. So, that would be my answer, and then...
No, I think you've pretty covered it. When we were doing this masterclass, I called myself Mr. Fabs. I didn't call myself my government name, right? Because usiseme noma. Jina yangu ni ngumu, man. But I'm called Zephaniah Shiwalo Obanda. So, look, at the core, I am Mr. Fabs, the DJ, right? And how I juggle this is, Instagram is my tool to bring out that side of the DJing, because, like, look, people need videos and all of that, and it's a more chill kind of platform, right? So I'll strongly build my Instagram around my DJing side. If you go to my LinkedIn, you'll wonder if this is the same Fabs that you're now gonna meet Zephaniah, right? So it's, for me, it's like, find the platform that works best, right, with that you're doing, those things that you're doing, and start to like build strongly across your verticals. Ndio. So coming DJ, I need to strongly build around Instagram. As a consultant, I need to strongly build around LinkedIn. As a thought leader, just general, I'll go to Twitter, you know. So I don't know if that kind of makes sense.
100%. Yeah. Does that answer your question? Does anyone else have a question? Anyone?
Hata muulize lunch ni saa ngapi? Kuna santa kujua. But thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, guys.
It's been Trace Academia. Have a lovely day.
Let's give them a round of applause. Let's do the permutations of 5, sindio? Let's do it the permutations of 5 because we are a premier university, sindio? Aya, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kwani hamjakula breko? Tulieni. Kwani hamjakula breko? Hamjakula breko bado? We can do better. Warm kidogo. Warm mikono. We can do better. Warm mikono. Aya, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you so much. So that was Trace Academia, and we've learned a lot about personal branding and how do you put yourself out there, sindio? Yes. So tumeambiwa careers ziko into 2. There is conventional and unconventional careers, sindio? And we've talked about unconventional careers. So I want 5 suggestions, 5 answers. What are the examples of conventional careers? Unconventional careers in Kenya. Unconventional careers in Kenya that are unique in Kenya. I want something unique. Sitaki kitu obvious kama DJ. Hiyo ashasema. Kitu unique, unconventional career that is in Kenya.
Yes. Unconventional kulingana na mimi, nafikiria like the artists, I love the the content creators wa TikTok and na watu wengine.
Okay, yes. So there's content creation, sindio? That is one. Another one, unconventional careers. Unconventional careers.
Content creation.
Ameshasema content creation. Tuambie ingine.
Forex trading.
So amesema forex, wale watu wa online trading, forex, crypto, etc. Sindio? So, what is the definition of unconventional career? Unconventional career hii ni career yenye wasewa na mekdo, but sio the original traditional careers. Sio daktari, mwalimu, lawyer, unaona? But wasewa na mekdo. A good example amesema content creation, sindio? Nini ingine? That's what I want to hear.
Kazi yako MC.
Yes, ku-MC, a DJ, content creator. Yes, ingine? Dancer, yes. Akina Telepark bro, sindio? Telepark bro anatoanga wa Faransa sijui wapi. Comedian. Yes, a comedian. Name one comedian that you know.
MC Tricky.
Yes, MC Tricky. MC Tricky by the MC Tricky was in Kenyatta University. Comedian YY alikuwa KU. Most of them were actually in KU. Walikuwa tu hapa amphitheater wakichekesha wase. Hata acha niwape story ya MC Gogo. Mnajua MC Gogo? You know MC Gogo? Let me tell you guys the story of MC Gogo. Back in 2019, you see this event, such events. I remember the first time I knew MC Gogo was the event on the other side, room 14. And it was School of Economics, Mr. and Mrs. School of Economics. And here was MC Gogo, just a small guy. Na alikuwa kona vibe. Unaona venye anapiga hivyo set? Huyo MC alikuwa kona vibe. Me personally, and at that time, hata hakuwa the main MC. He was never the main MC. What he will do is, time yenye waseo kuna hype, waseo wanataka kujibamba, anaomba mic. Akiomba mic, anaanza MC Gogo, what's up, let's... Unaona, ana hype. We want to party tonight, blah, blah, blah. So, nikasikia MC ako talented. No. In my mind, I just said, this guy will go far. Only a few years later, naona ameboom. Same thing niwaambia MC Tricky. MC Tricky ni wa KU. Graduated the other day with engineering. Comedian YY, he's in KU. And so many other talented guys. Una get? Yeah. So what I'm saying is, there are a lot of unconventional careers wasio na makeup nje, si ndio? Yes, the ladies, tuambie. Fashion designer, yes, exactly. Fashion designer. Graphic designer, graphics. Painting, yes.
Fashion modeling and runway.
Yes, fashion modeling and runway.
Gaming and sports.
Gaming and sports, kama?
Unaweza kuona za futa.
Yes, sports. You can be a talented person. Niko na rafiki yangu yule model ameenda wapi? Ujamaa ameambiwa na watu wa Trace, how will you describe yourself? Akakumbuka yeye ni model, akasema I want to be a role model. Unajua kuna siku nilikuwa nasikia huyu pastor wetu atao generali anaitanga aje? Commander Generali Nganga. Now Generali Nganga was praying for this lady. This lady had come to church, so she wanted prayers. So Nganga kamuuliza, what have you studied for? I want to bless you with a job. All right? Sasa Udem akamwambia, I have been to University of Nairobi and I have graduated with a Bachelor of Biochemistry. Nganga akaanza kumwambia, sasa mtoto yangu, unaweza fanya kazi kwa chemist? Unaweza fanya kazi kwa chemist? Niko na chemist nataka nikupee kazi. Sasa anajaribu kumueleza, nimesoma biochemistry. Lakini generali anasikia chemist. All right. I remember when I was in kindergarten. Ni wangapi wenye mlikuwa kindergarten na mlikuwa mna graduate? Mtoke kindergarten mwingie class 1. Inua mkono kama uli graduate. Ile pre-unit. Unajua kuna watu walisoma kuna watu walisoma group of schools na kuna watu walisoma Shamahoho, si ndio? Haya, kama uli graduate from pre-unit to class 1, inua mkono. Kama mlikuwa na graduation primary yako, inua tu mkono vizuri. Yes. Now, I remember when tulikuwa tuna graduate from kindergarten to class 1, ulikuwa ukigraduate unaulizwa, when I grow up I would love to be, si ndio? Right. Kuna mtu anakumbuka alisema when I grow up I'd love to be what? Kuna mtu anakumbuka?
Nilisema pilot.
Huyu alisema anataka kuwa pilot, sahi anapeperusha avieta. Nani mwingine? Huyu alijitambua yeye ni komando. Amejitambua yeye ni komando. Kuanzia kindergarten alikuwa anajua yeye lazima ingie KDF. Nani mwingine?
Doctor.
Nakwambia ukiwa mdogo unasemanga when I grow up I want to be a doctor. Sawa? By the time umeingia second year, third year. Ukiingia unaanzanga first year I'm going to do medicine. Ikifika second year imekuwa ngumu, acha nifanye nursing at least. By third year Umeenda, I want to be a veterinary doctor. By 4th year, you just want to be a patient. Umesema hii imekushinda, si ndio? Now let me tell you this story. When I was in kindergarten, nilikuwa nasoma shule fulani kwa Coast. So Coast kulikuwa na nduthi fulani inaitwa Bajaj. Sijui kama mshasikia nduthi inaitwa Bajaj. 150. Bajaj 150. Si mnajua? Haya. Sasa kulikuwa na nduthi fulani ilikuwa inaitwa Bajaj 150. So tulikuwa tukiambiwa watu wakisimama pale. So tukigraduate, when I grow up, I want to be a lawyer. Unasonga mbele. When I grow up, I want to be a doctor. Sasa kuna huyu mjunior kwao mwenye alikuwa amemake it kwa hiyo kijiji ni yule msako na nduthi. Yaani babake ana nduthi lakini anajua ako na uncle fulani ako na nduthi. Na yeye alikuwa look up to kukua tu na nduthi. So sasa tumetrainiwa, kila msee ameambiwa ile yake. So ile training, tulikuwa na training unaambiwa when I grow up, wewe utasema utakuwa daktari, unakaa kuwa daktari wewe. Wewe when you grow up, unakaa kuwa lawyer, si ndio? Sasa huyu jamaa alifika pale akasema when I grow up, I want to be a Bajaj. Sasa Bajaj si nile nduthi. Akasema I want to be so huko mtu wa nduthi anaitwa Bajaj, juu nduthi ni ya Bajaj. Sasa ikabidi mwalimu amesafisha. Huyu amesema she wants to be a judge. Yeye amesema atakuwa Bajaj lakini mwalimu amesafisha, amesemaje? He wants to be a judge. So tunaongelea about unconventional careers, and I know that the next speaker, we are going to have an amazing team from Base. Is Base in the house? Amazing. All right. Nataka tusimame, we stretch kidogo, si ndio? Yes. Nimesema leo we are going to award one gentleman and one lady who are going to be the most active, most interactive. Na watakuwa awarded in the awarding ceremony pale jioni. Sawa sawa? So bado naangalia. One gentleman, one lady are going to have an amazing award today pale jioni. So just give your neighbor a high five, tell your neighbor you look amazing today. Just give your neighbor a high five, tell your neighbor you look amazing today. All right. So I want to know. We are still in the month of love. Bado hatujamaliza, si ndio? Yes. Kama uko single, just clap once. Kama uko single, just clap once. Kama uko na mtu, clap twice. Kama uko na mtu, clap twice. Aya, kama uko na mtu na wewe ni dem na alikuletea maua, clap twice. Kama uliletewa maua, clap twice. Wanaume, kama uko na mtu na alikuletea gift ya maana, sio socks na boxer, clap twice. Hauna gari. Mwanaume una clap twice na uliletewa socks. All right. So, we are going to do a simple activity. There are 2 cities in the Bible. There is Jerusalem and there is Jericho. Sawa? When I say Jerusalem, you worship. So, nikisema Jerusalem una worship. Nikisema Jericho, unainua the walls of Jericho. Unainua mikono. Sawa? So, let's try. Jericho. Mikono yote juu. 2. Sawa? Jericho, Jerusalem. Jericho and Jerusalem. Sawa? So, do as I say, don't do as I do. All right, let's go. Jerusalem, Jericho. Jericho, Jerusalem. Jericho. Jerusalem. Jerusalem. Jericho. Jerusalem. Jericho. Aya, jipige makofi. Now let's do the one we tried yesterday. And just make sure you have at least 2 neighbors around you. Na tulisema nikisema 1 unaweka kidole ya right juu, si ndio? 1 kidole ya right juu. Kidole ya right. When I say 2, you place your left hand on top of the right finger of the person next to you. So 2. You place your hand, unaiplace flat next to the person next to you hivi. So kila mtu kidole ya right juu. Unawekelea hapo juu hivi, unashikilia. Sasa tujaribu tena. 1 2. Wekelea mkono wako juu ya kidole yake. Wewe unaweka kidole, yeye anaweka mkono juu hivyo. Okay. So nikisema 3, I want you to make sure that haujashikwa lakini umeshika mwenye ako kando yako. Sawa? So unatoa kidole lakini unatoa ukiwa umeshika huyu. Sawa? Let's give it a try. So one unaweka right finger pekee. 1 2 3. Kuna watu washashikwa? Haya, sawa. Wacha tu try. Wale wanashikwa watakuja kudance. Ukishikwa unakuja kudance. Sawa? Haya, na leo tuna dance set it pick up, si ndio? Kwa sababu leo tuko na Diana Codes ndani ya nyumba. Just to put us in the vibe. So let's do it again. 1 2 3. Haya, huyu ameshikwa. Nani mwingine ameshikwa? Huyu. Haya, wala ameshikwa kuje mbele. Kama umeshika mtu sukuma yeye mbele. Kama umeshika mtu sukuma yeye mbele. Haya, let's try it again. Haya, 1 2 2 3. Hakuna mtu amekamatwa? Basi you are good students. Jipige makofi na ukae chini. All right, so we want to create some content for today's event. So how it is going to be is I'll come in with nitakuja and I just say S hook and you guys stand and say S hook. Sawa? You just stand and shout S hook. S hook ni Safaricom hook. Ati? Kuna kitu kingine creative yenye tunaweka. Si tuna wacha tutamedi. S hook. Uko na idea? But tunaweza medi bado. We can just do that as we meditate. Sindio? We are creatives. I believe we can. By the way, we have a number of people who create content, by the way. Yeah, yesterday they had a recap. I know she has shown me. She has done a video on her TikTok. I think we'll also come up with another one. We can just try that one. Sindio? Sawa. Uko na idea? S hook tuko hooked. Hiyo iko sawa? Aya, ati S hook? S hook? Kwani mmechoka? Kwani mna njaa? Leo nimeambiwa tunapewa the cards hapa. Sawa? The meal cards. So before we finish, we only have one presentation. Then after that, we are going to give out the meal cards. Tuende tukule lunch. Then we go to the afternoon event. Yenye tutakuwa na sherehe bigi. Sawa? So hapa nasikia njaa. Sawa. So I'll come, nitakuja niseme S hook tuko hooked. Alafu tumalize hiyo part. Sawa? All right. Nyinyi wanoma. So I want us right now to just put our hands together and welcome our next team. Wapi makofi yao? Wapi makofi yao? Yes, we appreciate you. Karibuni sana.
Yajeni. Tuko fiti. Kumena tunakonga wengi hivi kujanga hapa hivi mbele ndio unajua. Machozi kidogo. So my name is Ajanga Standing. And I am the lead producer, Base Radio. So Base Radio, we are proudly powered by Safaricom. So I'm here with my lovely, kwani si lovely? Hebu kuja hapa mbele wakuone.
Mbona mnasema chop rice? Akisema lovely unasema chop rice. Brother Bernard. Brother akisema lovely unasema chop rice. Anyway, hi everybody. How are you guys? Mko salama? Before I tell you my names, you interact with the person who's seated closer to you. Mwambie, what is one hidden talent about yourself? Mwambie, let me show you my talent. Let me show you my what? Let me show you my auongei na mtu? Hauna jirani. Let me show you my talent. Usisahau kupatia mtu. All right, sawa. As Ajanga, or you can call him Stunning, has said, my name is Susenge. I am Susenge. Susenge is my name. Susenge. Umeshika. Mental health, tuko sawa? Hakuna ingine ni hiyo tu. Ni noma? Unatoka maeneo gani ya hii Kenya? Western Kenya? Rift. Nilikuwa nadhani. Kitui Mwingi, Katoloni, Ngungani, pigieni huyu makofi. Umesema si huko, ni wapi? Damn, Demuit. Anyway, yes, my name is Susenge. I am the digital strategist at Base Radio. I also do consulting. I am a corporate MC. And today we are here to speak to you guys about content creation. There is so many things that have been said by the Trace team. And we hope that we have some 2 or 3 things that we can share and we can learn from each other. Sindio? So through this session, guys, tusinyamaze, to interact. Sindio? Wangapi wana promise, you pledge your allegiance to interact and engage. Wangapi? Wapi makofi? Wapi makofi yao? Mwenye hata engage, kama umekaa kando ya jirani amesema hata engage, mwambie chop rice. Chop rice. All right, so Stan will take us through the first bit of the presentation and then I'll take the rest.
So thank you. My name is Ajanga, as I said earlier, and I work with Base Radio as the lead producer. So I like what the Trace guy said. It very well chimes into what I'm about to speak today. So, si wote tunaelewa Sheng, si ndio? Mambo ya kizungu saa zingine. So you don't understand Sheng? Yes. Buda wele Sheng? Mwenye kuna blue naangalia kando. Kizungu tu. So let's make it formal basi. Si ndio? Kuna maskama. So, my name is Ajanga and today we will be talking about something very, very interesting. So it's called the creative economy. Show of hand. Anyone has an idea? Tuko na merchandise by the way. Kuna ya time. Very nice. Okay, so show of hand, who has even the slightest of ideas what creative economy is? The creative economy. Ego go screen. Creative economy. So the bazenga kona red hapo hivyo.
Mimi nashuku ni kuunda do kutumia content ama kitu yote creative uko nayo.
Very nice. Ujamaa apatiwe match. I like it. Anyone else? Creative economy. Lakini wewe utajibu.
There's someone here.
Ziko tissue ya buple, acha tuone hapo kwanza. So, okay, yes.
Naelewa creative economy ni try to invent something new and then you present it to other people. Yeah?
Okay. So, thank you. The last one, umse Olive. Mlishinda by the way. Very nice. So Sue, the creative economy. Kuna mse hapo hivyo, okay, sir. Yes.
For me, I'll say creative economy is a system driven by a creative industry.
Yes, that's actually dead on. So thank you. MC Nakam. Okay. So let's get into it. The creative economy. So by definition, the creative economy encompasses industries that rely on creativity and intellectual property to generate economic value. So basically, kitu yote mse unafikiria, we know what IPR is, intellectual property. So basically, intellectual property is kitu yote yenye mse unatumianga your own mentality to sort of generate whatever creatives, content creators, architects, see what tuko kwa hii pool, basically. So examples ni, of course, architecture, arts and crafts, design, fashion, film, music, performing arts, publishing, research, development, software, toys and games. All of these people wako in this category. So basically, whatever your creative faculties, IP, whatever you can think of, whatever you curate using your mind, that's what we call, that's now in a form part of the creative economy. So the importance, the creative economy is a dynamic sector contributing to significantly to a global economic growth, job creation, cultural enrichment, so on and so forth. COVID, I'm sure si wote tulikuwa part of your era, no? Si wote tuli experience COVID. So something very interesting, because I know most of us are students. So when you took a job market, when you tulisha vuka yo, hey, by God's grace bana, you hey, kwa comrade si rahisi. But wase tulivuka tukaenda the other side. COVID-19 presented a very interesting time. So wase wali lose jobs, tulikuwa home, nini. But it brought about something else, and ilikuwa game changer, especially in the job market, which is now thinking outside the box. COVID did two things. One, wala wase wenye the conventional careers. So tumesoma about conventional careers. Madaktari, engineers, doctors, doctors and madaktari, teachers, people who sit in an office basically. What you had to do is either one, you had to either quickly adjust, once you work from home kama company yenyu ilikuwa that big, or two, to engage something called content creation. Ile time kila msee alikuwa anafanyanga stories za gym, kila mtu anafanya push up challenge, 25 days nini. That brought about a very interesting facet of life. It opened up people to a new way of thinking. So actually from that point, most of the people when walikuwa nafanyanga conventional careers waliachanga nazo. People went into content creation, photography, videography, wasekanza kupenanga challenges, 25 days of push-ups. Of course, after hiyo kitu iliisha ilienda hivyo tukarudi back to normalcy, but I mean, I'm sure you get the point. So COVID-19 was a game changer. Studies show from that point onwards, there has been more interaction on social media than any other time. So it goes without saying, COVID was a very crucial time for everyone. See ati kuna wase wako affected. Now let's get into the importance. So why is it important? Why is this creative economy important? Number one, so according to studies, it contributes to 10% of the global GDP. Now let's put numbers to it. 10% of the global GDP, according to UNESCO, need $2.5 trillion. How much is a dollar size in Kenyan rates? 125.5. So chukua 2.25 trillion times 125.5. Ni 125? 125.5. Quickly, nani anapata nini kwa calc? Ama inaleta syntax error. Inaleta maziro mingi mpaka inaandika e hapo hivyo mwisho. Now you can put, even though sasa tunaweka perspective into things. Think of how much this thing contributes to the global economy. $2.25 trillion. Anyway, let's look at more numbers. So you can crunch these things. So opportunities. So creative industry, the creative industries employ nearly 50 million people worldwide, with a significant portion being youth and ikitu na employ wase wagani? Youth and iko kwa screen. What is freelance? You understand what freelance is? What is freelance? Show of hand. Freelance. Ule msee wetu wa jana. Ni aje buda? Uko fiti? Freelance ni nini?
Freelance ni ile vako yenye we unaanga ofisi wetu una control 1 2 mambo yako alafu unapata kichele.
Very nice. Yes. So it employs nearly 50 million people worldwide. Now, let's bring it home in the Kenyan context. So the same thing, contribution this specific industry in Kenyan context. So it basically translates to 85 billion shillings. So crazy kena ule demo nini itangwaje disco matanga. Awinja, Edibutita, all of these people are forming part of this cluster. 85 billion shillings. Siko na do. Haya, so monetization. Yesterday we did something on monetization. Who understands, before we even get there, so who understands what monetization is? Show of hand. Yes, sir. Nini? Acha tuanze na huyu jamaa. Alisema you're doing education, no? You're doing education? Yes. Okay, yes. What do you understand by monetization?
Monetization is basically creating your own brand. Probably if you are a musician, a dancer, or a content creator, you create something that brings you money from your respective talent or something of that sort.
Sort of. Ini kama life skills. Hakunanga wrong answers. Someone else? Ujama akopalivo manyu. Yes, what is monetization?
Monetization is the process of turning something into money.
Thank you. Yes, I like that answer. So basically, that craft which you're doing, translating now into funds. That is monetization. Juzi tumeona Facebook officially as of last year, I think June, July, hapo hivyo, we started monetizing on Facebook. So basically, whenever you create content and you monetize it, basically that means for every single thing you drop, hata kama iko na views ngapi, as long as you post consistently, it earns you money. And TikTok is a game changer. So, key sectors. Number 1. So there's arts and culture. I won't dwell on this too much because sitaki kutuweka sana because ya lunch. Hii ni kama zile lessons za mao zilikuwa zina follow lunch ama PE. Hakuna mtu alikuwa anakaanga. So badala nijipata hivi peke yangu, so I might as well just make sure nimemaliza. So arts and culture, there's digital media, there is fashion and design, there is gaming and animation, and the very last, advertising and marketing. So all these things fall into these key sectors. It's very wide. Now, just a small personal testimonial. As I said, I'm employed. Mi niko na job. At the end of the month, mi kuna salon niko nayo. But on the side, I also do freelancing. Now, part of my work or part of the things I do has seen me rather... Okay, let me put this in a good way. So I have managed to work with very interesting people, the highest of the highest. So I think I've rubbed shoulders with 45 governors. I've been with the president once. What else? Uni yangu, ye wezi jua. Uni yangu. And all this is not because of my employment, by the way. It's because of something called freelance. Now, originally, company studied communication. So I have a Bachelor of Arts in Communication. That's what I studied originally. But because of COVID now made me start thinking outside the box. Okay, so employer amesema by the way, mali tumefika hata unaona by the way, vitu zimesimama. So people hatuendi kwa ofisi anymore, offices zimefungwa, 6 months uko home, 8 months uko home. A man has to eat. Sindio? Hata kwa mrezola kuinama. At some point tunaweza inama uanguke kabisa na usaiamka. A man has to eat, yes. So you start thinking, sawa, COVID is here. What do you do about it? We start thinking of ways to generate income. At that point I realized, by the way, see, tulifanya, because now communication we do more of journalistic works. So we start thinking, okay, sir, I know how to handle a camera. So what can I do with this camera, with this skill? You start thinking of ways, okay, sir, I can handle this camera. I know how to use audio consoles and all these things. Why not try shooting weddings for people? Why not try documentaries instead? Why not try, okay, sir, I have this thing. Why can't I develop something and put it on social media? Na hivyo tu ndo nilijipata, all of a sudden I'm producing documentaries, I'm doing all these things. And it's not because ati shule tulipewa hizi vitu. As a matter of fact, for purposes of not disclosing too much, ile shule nilienda, hata tuko na studio. Tulikuwa na, sema tu ni noma. So all these things you have to learn on the fly. Learning on the fly means umejipata hapo hivyo. So what do? You have to translate all these skills you learned as you're learning other things to make money. So we'll be speaking about this hapo mbele kidogo. So key sectors tumesema ni fashion and design, nini, digital media, arts and culture, gaming, animation, and lastly advertising and marketing. All these fall under the creative economy. Very quickly, emerging trends. So there's remote working and freelancing. Again, COVID is another culprit. Do you know from the time, from now the COVID era, kuna wase wajarudi ofisi full time. We do something called hybrid working and remote working. So remote working means we kabisa uende kwa ofisi. I mean, right now, people are applying for jobs in UK. And you don't need a passport to go to UK. Because you're working from home, literally. Where 9 to 5 yako, ni basically opening up a computer, na kukalia comp, mpaka yo 5 p.m. ifike. But now, of course, this poses a challenge because of timings. UK time si kama, si tumianga East African time, no? East African. Sindio, sisi ni East African. Yes, so UK, kuna, so that means, of course, you have to conform to the times, nini, unaanza kukua something called a nocturnal. Unaanza kufanya kazi usiku kama bat. But anyways, you need kutafuta do. So hybrid working on the other hand is now when half of the time unaenda, or rather the agreed time unaishia kofe, the rest of the times una work from home, which is a game changer. Who knew ati si lazima unange job kila siku from Monday to Saturday? Do you have an option of kusema, hey, by the way, on Tuesday now we know, let me be working from home. COVID, and as much as it was bad, hey, game changer, especially for wasewa ofisi. Monetization avenues. So platforms like Patreon and the emergence of NFTs offer new revenue streams for creators. So there's something called crowdfunding. I had someone reference Caliph Cairo earlier with the first presentation. We know what happened. So biashara, they were cooked. And yeah, so Caliph Cairo kaingia mitini. So in an attempt to sort of salvage that situation, he did something called crowdfunding. So crowdfunding is basically that's crowdfunding. Now you can do it officially on other apps like Patreon. Patreon is a crowdfunding model where so you have this thing, you have this content that you're producing, you ask people, by the way, please support my craft, support my content, and they can do that by donations. So these are donations on softwares, on platforms like Patreon. They are crowdfunding platforms, in other words. And last but not least is AI and automation, what Fabs was saying earlier. So artificial intelligence is transforming the creative process from content generation to personalized experiences. So hizi AI ni kila kitu. Na msijifanye mtumiangi AI. ChatGPT manenos. Anye mtumiangi hizo. Mwalimu, tumiangi hiyo. Even the music teacher. Tumiangi ChatGPT. My lord. Sawa. Mimi nilitumia ChatGPT eneo, si uongo. But in a very constructive way. Si kucheat. So, you can't, mali tunaenda saizi, you can't work outside AI. Itafika place inakuwa impossible. Right now, our new segment at the station, we basically run it purely on AI. So basically the AI does the scripting, it does the voicing. All we need to do is just click a button and you see me here. So we no longer need a physical person kuja kusema hujambo habari katika habari zetu za leo za saa tatu. And by that it's in very many voices. I have like 12 voices at my disposal. And funny thing is, which is of course alarming as well. So mali AI imefika, it's even making deliberate mistakes. By deliberate mistakes, I mean, once in a while, itakosea kawad, itadrag kawad, because it's curating something called a human experience. So basically, computers, they rarely make mistakes. When you punch in Niniko calculator, inakupatia the exact figure to the decimal. But right now, because people are curating a human-like experience in AI, it's deliberately making mistakes. So once in a while, ukivoice unasikia, hey, by the way, hii AI hapa hivi imehema, ama gasp. It's deliberately making mistakes, and that is alarming. By the way, when you say, I hope sini wa Kristo tuende tuombe, because the way things are going, right now I saw by the China, which I digress kidogo to, please allow me. China are making something. I read the article and I'm not sure whether I'm impressed or scared or both. I think it's a combination of both. So they're creating a robot with real life features. Basically, ikona skin, ikona a similar skeletal body-like structure. Like it has a skull, ikona sijui metatarsals. It's very strange, by the way. So where we're going, yes? Metatarsals. Oh. So metatarsals. So metatarsals easy stuff. Hey, Omera. Huyu jamaa huyu is multifaceted. Hey. Yeah, so metatarsals ni those two small bones zinakuwa kwa limbs, kwa mikono. Yeah. Kuna mse wa health hapa? Kwa conventional. Oh, ndio maana ni point namna hiyo. Pole bas. Pole. Sawa, yes. So AI and automation is the new deal. Basically, it's replacing. There's a study in Netherlands. Maliosel kwa nasema let's start to say not in Netherlands. Tunetu hapa Kericho. So kuna time people tea planters, si unajua ndo majani yanatokanga. So tea planters walileta this combined processor or something. So basically si ndio mzae? Yeah. So ilikuwa ina chuna the tea leaves, it processes them, alafu inapeleka kwa nini. So basically ni kuchukua tu na doing the final processing na kupakiwa. So ilileta shida. I think hata walichoma hiyo stuff or something. Because now it rendered more than like thousands of people useless and jobless. Aside from the tea owner, wanna own the actual farms, wote hawa wakazi wa kuchuna majani na tuvikapu kwa mgongo useless. Why? Because now this automation imekuja all of a sudden, inachuna, inasort, zile mbaya inatoa, inapeleka kwa nini, inakuwa process, inakuwa majani, na so inaisha hivyo. So where we're going, by the way, if we don't evolve into techies of sorts, if we don't evolve into these things, kulearn about AI, automation, chunga sana. Unless wewe ni daktari kama MC hapa hivi, tutakuwa mbaya. Very quickly, so how to make money? Hii ni exciting ama? It's exciting. You guys don't like money. So you have money. Yeah. And that is why we are recording it. So that we might know how to make this moolah. So content creation. Who knows that this girl? That kachik anakuanga on TikTok anaongeanga broken English from beginning to end. Salon takupeleka Sakahola. Who knows that is girl? Show of hand. You all know that is girl. Yeah. So salon takupeleka Sakahola. Do you know how much following that lady has? I mean, endo wangalia, you'll be shocked. Just for speaking broken English. Udem anamkanga hivi kwa mandizi yuko, nika kienyeji fulani, kwa mandizi yuko, and I record to video. And she's monetized it. Funny thing, and I make do. Sa hizo sisi white collars, tunakaa kwa ofisi, tuko tu. Unapata ka 25k at the end of the month, na bed sitter yako ni ya 15k. Transport ni 6k. Maji na stima ni 1500, juu tunataka fridge na microwave. Okay, at least wenye tutaweza ku afford na salary 25k. Sa hizo sana ndo kupeleka Sakahola kwa una wiki yenyo yake, akoko hivyo na tufa kwake kwa mfuko. Content creation. Simple Boy. What do you reckon? Do you think Simple Boy makes money because of his music or his personality? Uko sure si music? Mafi mushkila. Mko sure? It's because of content. Is it possible though? Sa mpendi vijana moche midarati. Mpendi yo song, haina vibe. Tafakari ya babu. Digital products. So you can also make, aside from content creation. And by the way, there's someone who was, I don't know, there's someone, sijui kama ametoka, she was asking, or rather he was saying, I'm not sure of alikuwa nani because I wasn't looking at the face. And he was saying sometimes creating content ni ngumu because it's time consuming, sijui nini. Imagine it's not. There's a guy, he's called, go check him out. Kama wase wenye wako okay, sio tuko wenye wako TikTok. Go check him out. He's called Amalfi Jets. So his primary means of income, basically he sells flights. Like high level flights. Ukitaka kwenda from Nairobi to Johannesburg ama to but now he majors basically in Europe. So ukitaka kutoka Seychelles, sijui in the UK, ukitaka kutoka UK when the Manchester, like he books private flights. That's the primary source of income. It's lucrative, don't you think? Si iko na do? As in, like, si zile economy class zenye tunapandanga tunajazana huko kamat. Like this is private jets. You hire the entire thing. Hakuna splits. It's lucrative. But now, aside from just booking private flights for these guys, he also does something I think is brilliant. As in, I have seen brilliant things. Like say he's a genius. So what he did, now he saw, okay, so I book all this expensive stuff, flights for celebrities. What else can I do? He went on to social media. He started, you know how you're calling, hey, this is Nini from Nini, I want to book a flight to you to where. He started recording those things, recording the interaction. Of course, he conceals some of the things, kama bei, nini, hizo weki hapo hivyo ndani. Oh, no, anaweka the price so that you can see how expensive it is. Now, he started recording these things and then editing and posting them. Go check him out and see the following he has. It's crazy. And by the way, he's monetized the account as well. So it's an extra stream of income. So I implore you, if comrades, I mean, life of a comrade is very interesting. Where you eat a meal in 2 days, na utashiba. 1 meal in 2 days, you don't eat, should be a wonder of the world. How is it even possible? Because the other day I was in Samburu nikaambiwa, if you drink blood, unaanga hiyo wa Masai, sijui blood wamechanganya sijui na matawi gani hivyo inakaa ka cultic nini fulani ka concoction. Yeah. And if you drink that thing, you don't eat in 3 days. Of course, subject to confirmation, but yeah, it was a very credible source. Nitoliniambia by the hiyo kikunywa 3 days you don't eat. Maybe inafaa kwa meal kwa mess. Simko na mess. Na damu si expensive. Oh, ya ng'ombe. Damu na maziwa. Hii mkie kwa mess. Meals ni ngapi kwa wiki? So selling digital products. So selling ebooks, graphics, music beats and other digital assets directly to consumers. Right now, mali tumeenda, you don't need a kingpin. You can basically make your beats now inbox calligraph mwambie aje niko na hizi. Okay, interestingly, we were with msanaitangwa aje producer producer wa calligraph nitangoje Vincent huyu jamaa ape t-shirt ape t-shirt aongeze kwa hiyo boomplay lakini wewe sasa ukifua boomplay Safaricom hook absa sawa huyu jamaa ananibamba yeah atumesema naitwaje Vince on the beat. So Vince on the beat was sharing his story, how he got into music and all that stuff. So he was born and raised Kisii. Huko hivyo nyama nyancha kitu. Uko ndani. So he had a passion for music. Hata yeye kama Mr. Fabs vile alisema when he told his parents he wants to pursue music. Alisema hapana, it's not possible. It is not possible. I mean, like, you want to be a rapper. It's not possible. Especially in a traditional home. Umepeleka university, unasema unataka kuwa artist music producer. Are you mad? Anyways, he pursued it. He went on, akaanza ku make to beats wake hapo pole pole. Kujikaza tu. So when there's a song he's produced for Calligraph. And so he was telling us ali making beats na ka DM mse akamtumia hiyo sample. Hiyo kitu kwa hivyo. Imagine from one gig like this it opened doors. Na kuna ati sijolenda kuna DJ fulani najua DJ fulani, huyu DJ najua producer wa radio fulani, akaenda akamconnect Z. Simple. Anajua Instagram yake akamdm akamwambia ni aje mimi ni producer, I make beats, hiyo sample. Na hivyo ndio umse hiyo story ilishanga hivyo. Una producer at the time and still in my opinion one of the biggest Kenyan rappers. Calligraph Jones. Just like that. Right now, where's Vince on the beat? Right now, he's doing something with King Kaka, which when do rapper? When do mental health? DM umse atakusort. Him and Moji. Ati Moji. Nitongo juu jamaa mwingine wa hapana huwa Elevate. Who knows what Elevate is? Motive the Dawn. You know Motive? You know the producer Motive? Yes, he's working with so he has this thing called Elevate. Basically, he takes upcoming artists and then gives them a platform. Ukiweza, he throws down a beat, you do a freelance, you do a freestyle. Alafu now, who knows? By the way, who knows? Sawa. And then again, freelancing, offering creative services on platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, Behance, connects clients. Now, I mean, right now the opportunity is limitless. So Fiverr, by the way, is a very interesting platform. Kama unatengenezanga animation, kama una making beats, all you need to do ni kuweka job yako hapo hivyo, then someone in the UK, any part of the world can access. Na akipenda kenye unadu, he gets on there. Na anakupea job. Then crowdfunding, I explained this before. I don't think I need to belabor this sana. The role of social media in the creative economy. Now, we can't talk about the creative economy now watch social media in there. Social media has been one of the biggest game changers in any facet unazafikiri in this world when it comes to social, personal, anything, as in social media go everywhere. Right now it's so crazy that saizi kuna ati zinaitangwa reality TVs. Sisi tunakaa chini tunaangalia wasee venye wananuliana sijui G-Wagon, sijui nini, sijui wanagoya Pink, then of course KOT, mara sijui kuna breaks Suzuki, sijui what. So right now, after there's no such thing as personal life. Of course, there's a term personal life, but in my opinion, there's no such thing as a personal life. Especially when you're into the space of celebrity life, sijui nini, hiyo ni yako. Juzi tuliona Drake akirushia sijui drone flip-flop. Afu akamiss. Na hiyo miss ilikuwa inakaa kama ali practice hiyo miss. Ali hata na distance nyingine mbali sana. I was thinking, even if your throw is bad, it can't be that bad. Reason being, social media. We want to create hype. We want to create controversy. Ndio maana wasee wana a marriage of 11 years. Apparently inaisha, then mnaoana tena. Then next week nasikia eti kuna album ina drop. Yeah. I mean, sijasema mtu yoyote. I'm just saying kuna watu kama hao. Haya. There's something called what's that term called? Nitakumbuka nitawajua. Ukienda kwa koti ulizo kama ulisema kitu unasema mimi sikusema hivyo. So always protect yourself. So mimi sijui. The role of social media in the creative economy. Number 1, democratization of content creation. Who knows what democratization means? Omera. Hiyo ni jina huko kwenyu. Common word hiyo. Abu Sabatala ndio mraia isikie.
Democracy is a rule for the people, but the people for the people.
So you ni poor. But democratization, what does it mean?
So you make the content for the people.
Again, life skills. There's
Like
no wrong
it
answer.
makes sense for the people.
I like how you're thinking.
Yani ikwe ya raia.
I like the way you're thinking.
Ikwe ya wase instead of yours.
Nakupata.
Make the story about.
Come on now.
Other.
Get. Anyone else? Yes, the lady. Very quickly, I think because of the live stream, you have to use the mic.
For me, I think democratization of the content creation is giving the liberty that your content is not discriminated against.
Ambu MC kupeti show. Unimnoma akona glasses. So democratization of content. No, initially, who remembers? Sorry, inaweza kuwa tricky. Nani ana remember VOK? Okay, nani anajua VOK? Ku remember inaweza kuwa ngumu. You maybe tu kwa hizo madays. Nani anajua VOK? Of course lazima ujue. Wewe sawa nyuma hiyo line acheni hapana. Hapa mbele hivi. Nani anajua VOK? Unajua VOK? Ilikuwa nini? Voice of Kenya. Good man. Yeah. So, siku za VOK, wenye hajasikia VOK. So, siku za VOK ilikuwa, kwanza kuna time radio ilikuwa inashangwa hours. Ikifika ni hiyo masaa ingine we enda udoze. Ama ufanye kitu ingine. Radio ilikuwa inashangwa in hours. Na TV ilikuwa na peperushanga habari za prezo. Wewe dhubutu useme kitu mbaya kuhusu prezo. Hizo time za Moi. Uko unafutionga job. Unasikia sijui ameenda sijui wapi. Unasikia kwa news. Wewe umechill. Umekaa kwa ofisi unasikia by the way umefutwa job. Kwa news. Ara si chocha. Tocha. Yeah, hapo ni ukweli. So basically, VOK controlled everything because of something called gatekeeping. So, Rais akisema, for instance, in today's context, tunasikiza simple boy. Dhubutu weke furthermore hapo ndo utajua ujui. Akisema ni simple boy. So, democratization of content. Basically today, you can, whatever you choose to do and how you choose to distribute your content and how you choose to distribute anything is possible because something called social media. It may bring about a concept we call global village. That means, right now, the world seems very big, but imekuwa compressed and compacted into a very small, like say easy, how many minutes does it take you DM simu nyako UK? How many minutes do you think? It's instantaneous. As soon as you send it, is as soon as they receive it. So there's no gatekeeping, hakuna sijui measures, hakuna sijui what. Basically, you send a message right now, you distribute your music right now, in a matter of seconds, imefika everywhere because of democratization of content. Hakuna gatekeeping, hakuna sijui who, you're the boss basically. Very quickly, monetization and additional revenue streams. I think I spoke about this earlier. So social media allows you, apart from your day job, apart from ile job lenye hiyo bizo konayo, wase wako into white collar, msee anatoka white collar. Apart from that, social media allows you to create or generate another revenue stream. So you don't have to always depend on one stream of income. Because manze itakuwa ngumu. Iyo dream ka unashinanga ukieta nayo, I can promise you, very few people can get to buy that car with one revenue stream. Ati wetu ni mwalimu, unataka kubuy range. Unless unalala nje. Usave up for like 45 years. Alafu tuendeshe gari miaka 2 because ya masaibu na matatizo ya mwili uko nayo, and then inshallah. So monetization and additional revenue streams. Number 3, global reach and audience engagements. Basically, social media. You can reach anyone, anywhere, at any given time. That's how powerful social media is. It gives you a global reach. It opens up the market. You no longer have to depend on ati kwendanga Nguaro ama soko gani kwa karibu na hii place. Kuna soko huko hivi. Gedho ndo soko yenu. Kai. Hey, acha tu work na acha na Githurai. KM. Githu ndo Githurai. Kuna yenye nachagua hapo hivyo. So global reach and an audience na inakupatia like you can reach anyone at any given point anywhere. Sawa? So social media allows you, opens up the market globally so you can sell your products anywhere. So kuna shipping schools, kuna DHL, kuna private companies zenye zinafanya suri ya shipping. So you access a very wide market globally. Virality and trend culture. Virality basically same thing as trend culture. Vitu kama my load na recordingi and many other phrases umesikia, it's because someone posted something, I mean, kitu tu ya ufala. But hii kitu ika trend. All of a sudden wasa wanaanza kuitwa interviews. Ati ule mse wa very, nani ule mse wa very nice, ule mse wa anakonga na kaduka. Anasemanga sijui ati, who knows that guy? Ni mse anakonga kwa kaduka. Afu kwanza ni zile duka traditional niko na tuwaya hivi. Akaanza kusema sijui very nice. Sijui tunakunywa pombe, sijui tuna nini na njugu. Who knows that guy? He's called Maringos, popcorns, sijui what. Kuna nyuma unaanga content gani? Okay, sawa. Yes. Nani anajua Goliath? Okay, si watu tunajua Goliath Bungoma, no? Tunamjua. Right now that guy is doing promotions. Ati, why is he doing promotions? Jeni mrefu. Surely, is that even fair? Do you think it's fair? It is fair. Why is it fair? I like it. Thank you. Hey. Ama de hoilo pe credo. Hey. Hata nyinyi mnamuendorse. Yeah, so hizi Goliath Bungoma, basically his talent is being told. Being who he is no talent yake na analipo for that. He's promoting brands na nini simply because of and I think I like what she said. Kenye uko nayo kwa mkono tumia hiyo. That's what you use. I think atakuja ongelea story ya content ndio mnoma kwa hizo vitu. Lower cost of entry for creatives. Now initially for you to create content zile siku za VOK. Maybe si VOK, hizo siku content ilikuwa tu moja ya taifa. Hapo mbele for you to create content you needed to, because kuko na lapels, hakuna sijui GoPro ama masimu ni zile za aerial hivi. So if you wanted to create content or generate content around something, you needed to have like a professional crew. Basically uko na wase wa TV, uko na wase wa sound, na uweze kunini content. But right now with your phone basically that is gana anatumianga nini kushoot nini zake. Si anatumianga simu? Goliath Bungoma anatumianga nini? Hakuna team seko na Sony Alpha wase wanafanya production. Hakuna Sony Alpha, kuna Kired ama Aris juu Alec. Okay, maybe tuseme tu anatumianga tu simu. Hakuna professional crews or what not. basically your phone. And now that's because of this, because of how compartmentalized technology imekuwa. Basically all you need is a phone in order to create content. All you need is a phone. It's that easy. And if you want to tickle your fancy, do not lapels hapo hivyo ndo wasio jua ni mnoma. Unaambia msee acha nikuwekee sound. Hizo sound ni lapel. Unamwekea ka lapel. Unaona wewe ni mnoma. Alafu unamcharge 3 times as much. Ni to kuwa mjanja. Yeah, so all you need is a phone and kama utakuwa mjanja Kwani ni saa ngapi? Sawa. So low cost of entry because technology imekuwa compartmentalized. You only need a phone and that's it. Collaboration and networking. So basically because of social media, you can get to network with anyone, any place, anytime. And I think last but not least, data-driven insights and personalization. This is because of zile analytics on YouTube. Now, for people who already when anafanyanga content na post actively, by show of hand, who is already doing content and posting? Buddha, una postingi? Hebu peleke yule mse mic. Peleke mic. Yeah. So, Nzai, uko na followers wangapi saa hizi? Kwanza wewe una postingi wapi? Fikishie umse mic. Ndio tusiweke wase sana ni masaa ya lunch na karibia.
Niko TikTok.
Umewasha mic? Okay, very nice. Banja sasa. Una postingi wapi content yako?
TikTok.
TikTok na?
Instagram. Na yeah.
So on TikTok, uko na followers kama wangapi hivi? 5 million?
5.2k.
5.2k? So how do you, unajuangaje venye unaforward just content yako kama wase wanaipenda ama hawaipendi? How do you get to know wase wanapenda content yako?
Unapata
Mike. Mike.
Kana jua wase wanapenda my content. Unapata kuna some of them wanani DM kwa nini wananiambia kijana unajituma. So some of them wanani DM wengi sana. Alafu wengine ma comments. So najua at least nini content yako inaenda sawa.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in addition to that guy and everyone else, allow me to present to you a better way of getting to know whether your content is being received positively or not. It's because of something called data-driven insights. Kwa YouTube inaitangwa analytics on social media platforms. So basically, this shows on every single post, kuna kuangana kama when you admin, you're the original owner of the content. On your original account, there's something we call analytics on every single post. So if you have, for instance, 10 videos, kuna video 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, mpaka 10. Video 1 ilipata 100 likes, video 2 ilipata 300 likes, video 4 ilipata 1000 likes, video 5 ikapata 600, like it varies. Now how you get to know whether your content was well received, ama ilibamba wase, ama haikubamba watu, is by judging on those analytics. Like ilifikia 300 people and it had 10 likes. So ile nye ilikuwa na 10 likes, nye ilikuwa na 1000 likes. What is the difference? That's now using data to adjust your content until I make it and curate it for audiences. So the best way of knowing whether your content inafanya poa ama ifanyi poa, just look at your analytics. How many people did it reach? What's the engagement on your content? Wase wangapi wamelike, wase wangapi wameshare, especially says on TikTok, wase wangapi wameuse your sound. I'm just thinking, umse mwenye alisema alirekodi madhi akianguka, akasema that is why I was recording. If that guy was the umse mwenye alipost your video, like I'm just thinking how many likes and shares umse yako nazo. You kitu saizi everyone is using it. Just record anyone falling down. Hiyo ndio kitu naenda kutumia saizi. Like that's how vitu za ufala zina trending on social media. Now all of a sudden unasikia umse ameanza ku endorse products. So that's all about social media. So I'll allow Sue to come, and she can take us through the next section. Alafu, yeah. From then we can allow people we can take 2 or 3 questions because of time, and then we will be done.
All right, was that insightful? Was it insightful? Yeah, I'm not going to dwell much on that because Ajanga was a bit excited to take you through that, so he's covered majority of the time, but we're going to speak about content creation. And I don't want to I want you to just project all the content, and then we can run through that. I want us to do more of what is practically needed so that we don't dwell much on the slides, and then niwache hapa the way, because these things, in fact, all of these things that are on this slide, you can get them online, but there are some things that you cannot get in terms of practicality and what is being done in the industry right now. So that is what we are going to focus on. Content creation, what is it? It is not just about taking a microphone and, hi guys, welcome to my channel, subscribe. It's so much. Yeah, it's just putting together pieces of intellectual property, if you would want to say. It is things that you come up, these are ideas that cannot be duplicated. You can't get what someone else thinks and you think the same and then execution is the same, all right? So that is basically what is content creation. Then types of content, you have video, blogs, video which includes the storytellers, you include podcasters, which is there is social media posts, there is blogging where people, when you visit our website, that is bizradio.co.ke, the website, you'll find some articles there. I write content basically on film, entertainment, music. I feature people. If you want me to write a profile about you, that's what I do. Finding your niche. This is basically what disturbs you. When you're looking at content from people, you're looking at the things that you consume on social media, and there is some things that are bugging you in terms of content. Maybe say hapa angefanya something better, and I think I could do that. That which is disturbing you is your niche, because people will tell you, even when you look at the slide, it's what do you love, or what are you good at, or what do people need, but you. What is disturbing you? Because that thing that is disturbing you, and it is not disturbing you in the sense of it's bugging you in a bad way. It is something that you look at it from a positive perspective. That is basically niche. Audience, what's your TA? The target audience. Whatever this is disturbing you, you need to find out a group of people who they will consume that and they will not be bored. And then distribution platforms. There is something that I just want to mention, and I think I want to go to the next slide. I'll just finish here, and then I'll give you a few tips on what to do in terms of socials. Distribution platforms. There is something that, and I want you to repeat after me. Content is king, but distribution is queen. Yeah, take a moment and digest that. Content is king, all right? But distribution is what? Distribution is the queen, all right? When you're looking at the way kingdoms operate, you know that we need a king and a queen, all right? For things to go well. For mental health, artist hapa operate vizuri, anahitaji hiyo kichwa yenye iko na something huko ndani, but anahitaji everything about himself, yeah? So that is basically a summation of that. Content is king, but distribution is queen. What does that mean? It means that where if you fail at distribution, then you failed at content creation, because not all the time your family will be consuming your content. They get tired sometimes, you know. When I was in uni, and this is not long ago, this is like 2.5 years ago, I was pursuing journalism and mass communications, and I decided I wanted to start a show. And I started a show, and it was doing so well. And the people who were giving me feedback all the time were my people at home, your cousins. You remember that cousin who went to the US and then is trying to get you content from the US. But I decided doing it alone, I cannot do it. I can have my friends. So I took 3 of my other girls and we started doing it. And we got we got engagement. We got to so many people because of that. But that is number one, because that is also a marketing strategy. Number one marketing strategy is it's not only content creators and social media managers will speak to you about that. They will tell you that the number one social media strategy or marketing strategy is word of mouth. Because if I come and tell you, buy this pen, because I like this pen, and this pen has done this and this to me, and I mean something to you, you're more likely to go and get it than you stumble on this advertisement, or sometimes, those affiliate website or affiliate marketing strategies that you go on a website and then something pops up. Sometimes they're usually not so appealing to look at. And you're just like, skip ad. Skip attention, secure, escort that one outside. Not today, yeah? So distribution, and then you look at the scope of content and what do you want to achieve. When you look at TikTok, there's things, and this is what I'm going to major on. When you look at TikTok, it matters how you present. It matters how you present this content on this platform. You cannot record your videos or your content at maybe ratios, is it 9:16 or 16:9? The other way. Content creators are low. Ama naenda mbio sana. Silabasi nakimbia. Si tunataka kwenda lunch. So move with me, si ndio? Okay, so let me avoid the ratios, but somewhere we'll need the ratios. You cannot record your content on landscape, and then you want to upload on TikTok, and you want the algorithm to give you the sort of the push that is going to give someone who has dedicated their time to create a portrait kind of content on Instagram Reels and also on TikTok. All right. Another strategy in terms of distribution, you have to crack the algorithm, guys. And something that helps you to do that, I've said, is the way you present the content. On Instagram, for example, when you're posting photos, what is the ratio on Instagram that you guys use? Kwa sababu that one I know. That one I know, all of us. Situko Instagram wasi. Situko Instagram. Situlisema engage with me. Wangapi wako Instagram? What's the ratios you use to post on Instagram? Yeah? The ratio for photos, still photos. 1:1. Sindio? Because majority of the times you find people saying 1:1 is the ratio for Instagram photos. But nowadays, the attention span of the viewers on Instagram is kidogo. Is like, I don't know, I don't want to give numbers, but it's kidogo sana, because guys are using to scrolling up and scrolling up and scrolling up, and then when you post on that 1:1, you will realize, and that one you can just you can look at it from your phones. You will realize when you post 1:1, you'll have like a photo, for example, this is the screen. You'll have the 1:1, which is your photo, is like somewhere hapo juu, but there's another page hapa chini that you can see their content, all right? So to make sure that people are utilizing majority of their times because even when someone spends a bit of more time on your pages, it's engagement and interaction for you. So you need someone to spend a bit of more time there. So instead of posting 1:1, you post 4-5. That is photos, regardless. All right? Yeah, so it is there. It is there. If your phone does it, kwa sababu najua kuna wale ambao wako na masimu ambazo zinapenda mastingo, hawana ratios, so you can just post on portrait. Sawa. So that when you put, if someone looks at that Instagram still photo, they can only see your page. They cannot have distractions of maybe this other famous person they are following has posted something interesting, all right? Another thing about still photos is posting carousels. That is, to me, maybe might be a big word, but I know we are creators here. That's not, here's mambo madogo hayo, sindio? Mambo madogo, sindio? Yeah, so that means you post a couple of things, all right? If you're posting photos, post at least 2 or 3, so that someone can be curious enough to swipe left, to swipe. When they swipe and they're still on your page, that is also engagement or interaction for you, because they're spending a bit more time on your page, all right? And then the Reels is almost the same with TikTok. For YouTube, that is you're recording landscape, and that one all of us know the way you can do, because some people do, the way people record on portraits and then they come and duplicate 1, 2, 3. Sometimes it can be a bit a lot. Sawa. Yeah, so just move with that. In terms of YouTube also, the portraits will be helpful to you on YouTube Shorts. Because nowadays what helps people to get also subscribers and engagement on your page is YouTube Shorts. Because remember, we're in an era where people are appreciating so much about TikTok, and they like scrolling up and up and up and up. They don't want to spend so much time unless you've already created a certain community, all right? So for you to build on that, start on Shorts. Keep posting. Even if you have one video, which is like a long format or long form video, make sure that at least every week you have like at least 4 to 5 shorts that are running on TikTok. Different. You can try and repurpose these things in the sense of, if you're having content on Instagram and maybe it's not doing so well, try and look at it from a different angle and post it on YouTube Shorts, on TikTok, on Instagram, and it's going to be helpful to you, all right? And then monetization struggles, I want to merge that with Spotify podcast. Yeah, so you can take us maybe to the last slide, which is, I'm going to be speaking about, podcasting, yeah? Majorly, podcasting was originally just, right? There is people who are doing also, they are doing podcasting live. Someone ako hapo anasema, this is the specific time for me to go. I will talk on this topic and you guys can engage. That is still some sort of podcasting, but it is digital. Content planning and episode structure. Before I'll finalize with monetization, you have to come up with content that you would need to put out and episode structure. But let me tell you something, guys. Everyone will speak to you about find your own niche. Before you start, you should know. Kama wewe ni wa Western Kenya, kama mimi, you have to go and show us the way chicken are slaughtered and the way they eat. There is another video when it is Christmas Day and everyone is sleeping on the table. There is no going to the bedroom because the food will run away. That is the people will tell you about that. But can I tell you, before you find your footing, you have to do a couple of things. All right? You can't wake up today and say it might be different to musicians and people who do art. Because if I remember when I was doing spoken word and poetry, I used to write in a certain way. But when it comes to concentration and podcasting, when you start to speak about topics, Stan has spoken about using data to help you know where your footing is. That is very important. But do a couple of things and then do evaluations. Give yourself, like, for example, a period of 6 months. You say, in these 6 months, I'm going to post this content around this range of, or rather a scope. All right? And then you start based on data that you get. Because, one thing about digital and social media, you will have the numbers. Numbers don't lie. You'll have the likes. You'll have people engaging with you. And once you post a certain form of content in a certain scope, people will engage you more than the other. And then now you can know, how can I diversify in terms of delivering this content that my people enjoy? All right? Yeah, so that's basically content planning. But do a couple of things. Do a couple of things before you settle on what you do. Because sometimes, Pia, you can box yourself from the word go, but where you're boxing yourself, you're taking yourself to the depths of hell, where you will never get numbers, you will never get brands, you will never... There is platforms like Podcon, for those ones who are doing podcasting. Podcon is, it's an international website, or let me call it a website for lack of better words, where podcasters, you can there is opportunities for you to monetize. In Kenya it might be difficult because right now people say, how am I going to get money? You're wondering, Spotify is not monetized in Kenya. When you download Spotify and you're listening, those ones who have tried that, you download Spotify and you're uploading, even if you're a creator, it's not monetized in Kenya. But what can you do? Other things. If you cannot get brands, because there's some people who will feel like, hey, we work on a 2,000, easy to idea. But how about you explore other things like Podcon and those other ways of getting some moolah for yourself, all right? The episode structure. In terms of, that is also basically niching, and I have mentioned that. I don't want to go so much into that. Before I came out of campus, I knew I was going to be the biggest TV presenter, and you're not going to tell me anything. Mtu akiniambia namwambia Mafi. Akumbe huku nje nayo dunia ilikuwa inasema moto testing. So when I came, there was so much, and I was a bit discouraged, all right? But you know what I did? I would never, the last thing in my mind was I would ever find myself in sports, yeah? But when you ask me right now, I don't want to be prideful, but I want to say I am among the best female basketball commentators in Kenya. Have you had anyone doing basketball commentary in Kenya? But I do basketball commentary. One time you can find me at Ndio Stadium, Ulinzi Complex, where depending on the timings. So do many things before you find your footing. Sawa. Episode structure. Instead of looking at the slide, we're speaking about scripting, engaging, intros, title, length, main topic, supporting topic, frequency of publishing. Those are the things you consider before you start the podcast. But in terms of the episode structure, you have to look at the intro, and then the main topic, the supporting topic, and the outro, which is a blend of signing out and CTA. CTA is call to action, you know. When you're telling people subscribe to my to this podcast, we will engage. If you're promoting, maybe you have an event, you can do a small event of like 10-15 people. The other day I went to a film event with one of my friends, and it was so tiny, like it was like 25 people, and it was so meaningful. So make sure you just have that structure so that you know you are not mixing things up. And then recording and editing, this is post-production, you know. People don't want to be to be watching a video that is so pixelated, to the sense that you can't see this person as a guy. You can see them as, I don't know, someone who's missing some few parts. All right. So just make sure that you're recording and editing. You're doing a bit of more work there. If you cannot do it, there is so many people who can help you around uni. Because I know for people who are here in this room, you have friends who are doing editing. They don't have a platform yet. They are not doing editing for corporates, and they're not doing editing for the big brands. But they can start with you where you are. Remember that show that I told you about? I was doing with some 3 other girls in uni. I had 4 cameras. I had 3 editors. They were not paid. Why? They were students like me. All right? So find people, create a rapport, and to this date, we are still very good friends. If I find a gig, I can call them because I know we've grown together. All right? That is not to tell you that people should manipulate you so that you go and give money. Someone tells you, give me 10K, and then when I edit, nitakupatia kazi moto, alafu utapata 10 million subscribers. They are lying to you. Start somewhere. All right? And then publishing and distribution, we've said content is king, but distribution is what? Distribution is queen. So just make sure, nowadays there is no anchor. When we started podcasting, for people who didn't know so much, we started with Anchor. But nowadays Anchor was converted to Spotify for podcasters or creators. You can get that on Play Store, and then you can just start, all right? Get yourself a lapel mic, sit in your room and start recording something which is audio. But right now, in the day and age that we exist, you're highly advised to also do audiovisual, all right? And then promotion and growing the podcast. This is to make sure that when you're having long-form content, when you're having the content, the podcast or the long-form content you're posting on YouTube, make sure you have snippets of this podcast. The catch, the hook. Yeah, and this is another thing, by the way, about the hook, is to make sure that when you're planning you can't wake up today and sit here and you start talking and you expect in the next 1 hour you'll have a recollection of all your memories without all the discourse markers and the and the like and the, you know. You have to plan yourself. So when you're planning yourself, try and make sure that the hook is the catchy bits of the content is within the first few minutes of the piece of content that you're putting outside. That hook will help you when you're cutting small snippets and you're putting on TikTok and you're putting on Instagram and you're putting on YouTube Shorts. It will market you, all right? So basically, that's it. I would want to end it there. In terms of monetization, we've spoken about PodCon for those ones who are trying podcasting, and then brands, and then there is also merchandise. People are doing merchandising right now, even when they're still at like 5K or 2K, and it's doing so well for them. So you can try those, and then try and reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out to these brands because you feel like, because this is Safaricom and they're working with a certain scope of content creators, shoot that email. You never know what is going to happen, all right? Shoot that email, compile something. Nowadays we have AI that is spoken about. It can help you compile a presentable a presentable email that will help you to put together your value. Yeah, you know, if you have like 100 subscribers right now, does that mean you're valueless? Does that mean you don't have value? You know, you can have 100 subscribers, but all the 100 are engaging with you. Someone else has 10K, but they have 10 people engaging with them. Who is more valuable to a company or a corporate? The person with 100, right? Yeah, so don't be afraid to also approach the corporates and the brands that you would want to work with. Also make sure the content that you're creating is in line with, because organizations, companies, and even people, we all have values. So make sure that your content that you're putting outside is aligned with their values, so that when you approach them, they'll tell you, first of all, why are you using vulgar language in our company? We don't do that. Because Safaricom covers it's a family brand, right? Yeah, so if you're going to attract certain companies or corporates, just make sure that your values align. Sawa? All right, so is there anything I've not spoken about that you would want to know? There's so many things I've mentioned that were not on the slides, because it is important to mention the things that are practical, but I would want to take like 2 questions and then we can call it a day. Anyone with a question?
Questions? I'll just take 4 questions. Yes. 1? Yes? Mwingine? Any other question? So just 1. Okay.
Maswali zangu, most of the questions I had, you have answered them, both of you. But this is the thing I wanted to ask. You see, when you've said about finding your niche, ile yani unapata ile stuff yenye inabamba wase wenye unapostia. Sasa mimi la kuambia kuna wale wase wenye amejaribu futa imekubali. Yaani kazi yake ni kupiga ile unarada, alafu sasa hiyo ikakubali. Alafu sasa pia kuna bado akajaribu nini, amekuja sana kaa chini anatoa ma philosophical quotes, akawapa mwingine pia amejaribu self affirmation imekubali, political commentation imekubali. Sasa msekaa huyo afungue account different za kusukuma mambo yake, ama asukume tu na account jamo. Na pia nini, sasa nilikuwa pia hii sasa ni side note. Si mmesema nyinyi wase wa Base Radio, ile tu acha tu niwaambie ukweli. Base Radio si kila mse ausikiza. Mimi sasa kako kwa tips yetu ni mimi niusikiza, na mimi niusikizanga hiyo show ya Maraya. Hiyo na ya Mwaf pia. Alafu pia sasa nilikuwa acha niuze sera. Pia mimi nataka nikuwe kwa Base Radio, ile kama mnadai mkidai fresh new voices. Mimi niko idhaa man, naweza tamani.
Walai mkini support nitafanya nini? Naweza fika mbali, si ndio?
Another question?
Yeah. We take all the questions and then.
2 more.
Okay.
So 1, anyone else? Going once, going twice, and sold to the guy in a boom play t-shirt.
Okay, it's simple. I've already interacted with you. You are the head, right? And wewe unawakuko, so okay. Achana na hiyo head ni mingi. Head ni mbili. So I want to know how will my music reach Base Radio, because I've listened to Base Radio a couple of times, and I just want to know how to use platforms like that, because si platform moja ndatumia kupromote music yangu. Kuna Spotify, kuna Audiomack, kuna Hear This, kuna Boomplay, kuna Mdundo. There are a lot. So mimi nimeinteract na nyinyi, so kama mzae wa Boma nichapie vile nitafika huko.
Okay, so nitaanza na ule you like sports. Unapenda mambo anakwenda mchezaji nambari 1 ameanguka jamani, hajakula ugali wa mhogo, ameteseka sana. Hiyo ndio unapenda? Okay, so I'll start with when you're saying when mnoma kwa different sectors. One thing I would want to say about the creative, because the topic of our presentation this afternoon was the creative economy. There is enough for everyone in this industry, all right? Sio Gobina kona YouTube channel ngapi? 31 ama zilikuwa ngapi? Zilikuwa ngapi hizo YouTube channels? You know, akona kadha, because the people, you cannot have everyone in the same page, all right? So if you're doing sports, what are your page equal sports? Like for example, the way I like NBA, WNBA and all those things. I've never seen NBA posting about music. I have never heard about the commentators wakikaa hapo chini after Mr. Brown has done the thing, alafu wanasema sasa kujeni leo tunataka kuongelea Kendrick Lamar kwa sababu alifanya ile kitu Super Bowl. They post everything about basketball, all right? So if you have a page, you can create those pages, and then you never know the page that will be your biggest break. All right? If it's political commentaries, and then we are also in an era of people canceling others. You don't want people to associate your page or to cancel you because something you've said at the political side, and then they are canceling the whole thing. Size oko 1.2 million, you will cry. Brother Bernard, you will cry. All right? So try and make sure that you're having a couple of pages for different things, all right? But usitengeneze pia 21. Juu pia kumanage and managing these pages also requires a lot of time, all right? It will be a bit consuming to you. Find 3 things or 2 things that are your strongholds, and then you can create the pages, and then you can put more energy, more action hapo. Sawa. All right. And then in terms of Base Radio, that one we can have conversations with you behind the tent. But we also have our emails on our socials if you're interacting with us there. I'm usually on those social media pages. So anything that comes in as a DM, I see. If you DM Base Radio right now, I will see it once I put this microphone down. So don't be afraid to shoot your shot, all right? Yeah, some of the things that I've gotten myself is I did that. There is some opportunities. One time I was working with Radio RFM Germany, but the Kenyan chapter. I went on social media, DM'd, and they called me. Almost the same day. All right? So don't have the expectation of the same day, but have the expectation that someone will get back to you. Sawa? Have I answered you? Okay, sawa. Thank you.
Sawa. Round of applause for Susa and Kijamani. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for having us and allowing us to speak to you. It has been fruitful for us. I hope you've gotten something. And last but not least, to the guy with the question, yes. What I tell people is, you think of big things, and big things are nice, but start where you are. Hapo mbele nilikuwa nasema, the reason as to why I have gotten to levels and places and stepped into things I had never imagined maisha yangu yote. Kuna places nilikuwa nasemanga sitaifika, but because of simply putting yourself out there and trying things and doing things, me basically sikuangi mbele ya kamera, juu hii uso yenyewe kusema tu kweli. Hii si uso mbele ya kamera. But nyuma nayo niweke. Anytime, any day, nita perform. But because of just going out there and trying and pushing yourself out there, na kuongea na wase, na kubonga na wase, na try out new things, learning a new skill every day, I've stepped into places siko ifikiri naweza get to. So even you, I mean, say when nasema content creation ni ngumu, start where you are. You never know. Of course na uombe manzi, of course kuomba. Muombe ni very, very important. So thank you for having us. Umsewa Music, we play, by the way, as Base Radio, we play 80% Kenyan music. 80. Then the 20% in the back hapo hivyo ni East African. Wezombi yako hapo, Harmonize yako hapo. We never go outside East Africa. So if there's anyone who vouches for Kenyan content, Kenyan music, see African music, kilo yuko hapo. Bana boy hatuna, but tuko na Wezombi. Siwe ni Mkenya? Bora tu kuwe Mkenya, usikue wewe si Chris Brown? Sawa. Thank you very much.
Let's appreciate them with a with a clap. Let's appreciate them. Yes, I can see how our faces are changing. Ukiangalia sura saa 3 after breakfast saa 4, people were very exciting. Sindio? They were smiling. But the more we continue, the more your faces get, the more our faces get dark. Sindio? So I don't want us to stay here longer than we have been. It has been an amazing 2 days. And I want to say, if kuna msali kuja hapa na ulijaribu content ukakuwa discouraged, ama hukuwa unajua how do I start, or you needed that motivation, I'm sure umepata that motivation. Sindio? If there's anyone who has been motivated to do what they've wanted to do in the creative economy, inua tu mkono. If you've been motivated, yeah. I see many of us. Personally, I'm very motivated. I actually started doing content creation in 2019, 2021. Niko na YouTube channel, niko na like 4K subscribers. But I gave up. Like, I've not posted for like 3-4 years. Hata nilisahau mimi ni content creator. But I think after today, I've been able to get a lot. Hata mimi nitajipanga, si ndio? So I know most of us here do something, uko na talent, uko na content, uko na whatever you're doing, and we've gotten that. So just to remind you that in the afternoon, tunaenda kuwa na awarding ceremony, sawa? So wale wamejiregister asubuhi, we are going to have certificates for each and every one of us. Piga Safaricom hook makofi. Okay. So we are going to have certificates, and that certificate is going to show that you have undergone this masterclass. We have learned everything concerning culture, concerning content creation, concerning talent, concerning monetization and everything. Sasa, hiyo utaongeza pale kwa CV yako. The other thing is that afternoon pia, tutakuwa na amazing performances. Nimwambia tutakuwa na Furthermore, tutakuwa na Tipsy G, tutakuwa na Diana Codes. Sawa. So msicheze mbali. And before then, I want to appreciate some of the individuals that I have seen have been very active yesterday and today. And I've told you, we are going to award 3 of them at the amphitheater. And also the rest, I also want to also appreciate them with the merchandise and some credits. Indio? So I want to appreciate a number of you who have been consistent from yesterday and today, so that we appreciate you. Indio? Sita nyinyi mnawajua? Aya, nataka ni random too. Some ladies and gentlemen I've seen wamekuwa very active. Wacha tuanze na huyu msanii wetu. Simama hapo. Yes, pia huyu amekuwa active. Simama hapo. Yes, msanii wetu simama hapa. Yes, role model. Kuja tu model hapa. Wasupa. Huyu msupa pia amekuwa very active. Kuja. Yes, pia huyu msupa amekuwa very active. Kuja. Kuna pia ule msupa pale amekuwa very active. Kuja. Aya, wacha tuangalie. Kuna pia huyu kuja ni ku appreciate. Who is remaining? Nani sija? Bosi, kuja, wewe siwezi kuacha nje. Unajua natakanga kukugift shati lakini naangalia sina size yako. Unaweza pelekea mkoro? Sawa, nitakupea leo. Nilikupromise shati. Natakanga kukupea lakini naona huyu msanii wangu haizi hata. Kuja. Sasa hawa anataka kutoka na alikuwa anataka kuja, wewe usiende, kaa hapo. Hata wewe you've been very active. Hata huyu kuja kaa hapa. She has also been very active yesterday. She also came back today. Wacha niangalie. Nani amebaki? Nyinyi ndio mnawajua. Nani amebaki? Mgani? Huyu. Amekuwa jana. Kuja. Nani nimeacha nje? Mwenye alikuwa jana na akakuwa leo na amekuwa active. Yule amekuwa kuja. Wewe hukuwa jana wewe. Wewe hukuwa jana. Nataka hata umekuwa active jana na leo. Ni wa appreciate. Yes. All right. So, kuna watu I owe these t-shirts. Ilikuwa nani? Kuna huyu kwanza nimeambiwa nimpe na wasanii. Wewe chukua t-shirt kwanza. Kuna huyu I owe him ya jana. Niliona jana sikuwa na size yako. Aya. Wewe ushapata t-shirt. The ladies. Tupatie huyu, si ndio? Wacha tumpatie t-shirt. Wapi makofi yake? Aya. Niko na kofia pia hapa. Okay. Kofia tutapea nani jameni? One lady, one gentleman. Simnisaidie. Tumpatie kofia. Hauna kofia? Ako na topa? Tupatie? Role model. Yes, nimeambiwa wewe Wewe wacha tukupe hii uongeze kwa outfit zako, si ndio? Haya, one lady. One lady. Mgani? Huyo. Haya, sawa sawa. So the rest nataka niwape credo za chwani. Sitakuwa sawa? Yes, alafu mnataka mnisaidie ku-identify. Mnisaidie kufanya nini? Identify the top 3. I want either one lady and 2 gentlemen or 2 gentlemen and 1 lady. Sawa sawa? Haya, nataka wacha tuwape kwanza credo. Sitaki muende hivyo. Wala amepata kofia sasa. Tangoja. Wewe wacha, wewe nimekupea credo jana. Huyu sijampea kitu. Haya. Hiyo katika iko sawa. Wewe umepata shati. Haya. Shika. Wewe sinakupea sahihi credo. Sawa. Nitakupea sahihi. Kwa mahali sasa kutoa sahihi. Okay, so wote wamepata credo, si ndio? Nataka mnisaidie kuchukua the 3 most active. Simekuwa hapa? Haya, nipateni the 3 most active. Haraka. Una point haraka. Nipateni the 3 most active. Msanii mgani? Huyu. Haya, simama hapo. Haya, nataka tena mwanaume mmoja na dem moja. Mwanaume gani mwingine? Kabuda. Wapi makofi ya Kabuda? Haya, nipatieni dem moja. One lady. Yes, one lady. Mgani? Wapi? Huku ama huku? Huyu. Mmesema huyu? Haya, wengine wamesema wapi? Huyu wa specs. Haya, huyu amekuwa active. Sikuwa nasema unataka nani. Nimesema nani amekuwa active. Sawa? Kuja. Yes. So, I think I'll just give you my phone. Mnipe your full names so that we are able to recognize you, courtesy of Safaricom hook. Sawa. So this I'll be wapige makofi. All right. So they have been our most interactive for the 2 days. So nimwambia kila mtu atapata certificate, sawa. So msicheze mbali, in the afternoon we are going to have a graduation, a simple graduation. We appreciate all of you and we give you certificates for that content. Your certificate weka kwa CV. In the afternoon our partners watakuwa pale, sawa. So if kuna partners wenye wamekuinterest according to your specific niche, watakuwa hapo, network with them. At least make sure develop your art and craft. Lastly, I want to thank you all for attending our events yesterday and today. I don't take it for granted. We know that we are very busy with our classes, with cards and exams, but you've left all that to be here with us. I want to thank you, sawa, on behalf of Safaricom. So wale hawajajoin Safaricom hook, bado ni *555#, sawa. Hizo ni Gen Z offers, sawa. Hizo ni offers fiti za ma Gen Z, ndio uweze ku-create content yako, uweze kupush content yako. All right. My name is MC Solo Daktari. I have been your MC. I'm a finalist, School of Medicine, Kenyatta University. Thank you all. Wapi makofi? Jipige makofi. Okay. So, lastly, nataka tupange mambo ya kudishi, si ndio? Sema keroma. All right. My ushers, tafadhali nifungie ile mlango ya nyuma. My ushers, nifungie ile mlango ya nyuma. Senior Dan. Okay, nifungie hiyo mlango. Unajua hii ndio masaa watu wa Bungoma wanaanza kuingia. Niliona yule goli afika ugali, anapika kuku, ana record hiyo, anaangusha mtandaoni, si ndio? Sijui kama msha realize. Kuna watu wa Bungoma hapa, nisiwaingilie sana. Kuna watu wa Bungoma hapa. Wa physics mwenye ni Muluya. Ushaikuwa naye high school? Au watu every example anapeana na chakula. Akisema what is mass? What is mass? It is something that has weight and occupies space. Yani ni kama ugali. Unaona? Akiongelea mambo ya physics, aongelee mambo ya aeroplane venye inaruka. Anakuambia ukiwa streamlined, unapita vizuri. Ni kama kichwa ya kuku. Yaani hawa tu examples zao zote ni nini? Ni chakula, si ndio? Yes. So now, si kila mtu ako na tag ya culture. Kuna mtu ana tag ya culture? Haya, kama kuna tag ya culture, so tutatoka systematically, kila mtu akipewa meal card. Then tuende tukule pale amphitheater, kuna very nice meal, then tuingie event afternoon. Sasa, so we'll start with just here. But before that, I want us to, nataka as we say may the grace, when we finish, just salimia your neighbor as we before we leave. Sindio? So tuseme may the grace of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen. So let's start with this row. Just systematically, kama watu wamesoma. Nimesema hero. Just systematically. Like a degree holder. Nifungie mlango tafadhali.